Mr. Bagel fought and his Twitch stream with the Bagel Bunch crew. They're the dream team. Oh yeah, spreading love and positivity like cream cheese. They're always laughing, having the best time, no matter the tease. He's a goof, he burps on stream, a real charmer. But he keeps chat entertained like a true performer. With the BBC. Yo, wait, pause, different type of BBC? We're keeping it PG. Bagel Bunch crew, always feeling so fine, so fine. Spreading joy and laughter like no one else can find, Mr. Bagel Fart and his crew, they'll never miss a beat. In the Twitch world, they're the ones we love to meet. Mr. Bagel's BBC is the real deal, can't you see? Gonna take you on a ride, you better believe. Don't need no other stream, this is the one you gotta see. The BBC will make you feel so free. Twitch ain't ready for the power that we bring, destroying every game. We're the Bang King. Get it? Mr. Bagel's BBC is gonna make you scream, make you scream. This is the only stream on Twitch you ought to be. His BBC will destroy you. So come on in and join the party.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? All right, so tonight we are going to be starting off with a little bit of Therapy Simulator. One of the cool things about this is that the chat will get to vote on the responses to our patients. We did get this game for free on Keymailer. So we're checking this out. Just a second here. All right. And then later on, we'll be doing some Jackbox Party Pack if there's enough people. We might throw in some marbles on stream, and then later we should be playing Guilty as Sock with some people, which could be fun. All right. Connect. There you go. All right, so now when we have different options, let me move myself a bit. Where are we at? Now you guys should be able to see the results there. Hopefully I don't block too much of the responses. Alright. Turn the music down just a bit. Alright. Let's try to help some people in therapy, shall we? Here, I'm gonna hide it for now. And then once either people start voting or we're we've read all the descriptions and we're about to make our decision, we'll check, then see kind of what people are thinking the best would be. So far, this is going very well. Spinning circles is going to make me need therapy. How long do we wait before we Alt F4 out of this and then get back in with something else? Or at least try to reopen it. Way too long. All right, let's try it again. We can pull up the main menu, so that's cool. I will be having a cough drop every once in a while because my voice is not 100% back. But I'll do my best to not shuffle it around on mic. Alright, so it does work. Alright, fingers crossed. Alright. Damn. I'm like sprinting. Go to your office and prepare for the day. That's not what I want. Turn on the computer and assign patients to the calendar. Cool. Johnny Sims. Hey. Johnny, you're going to go at 9, and Nanthy, you will be at 10. Patients will first sit down in the waiting room, then you can invite them to the therapy room for a session. Excuse me, Johnny? You ready to go? All right, Johnny. I've been a doctor, a police officer, and a construction worker, but nothing feels right. Alright, the options are, this is where chat comes in. You pick options 1, 2, or 3. What would help you feel more confident in your current role? Do you think you're searching for an external validation rather than internal fulfillment? Sounds like you're trying on costumes instead of living authentically. Maybe you're right, but I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. Not sure sounds like your comfort zone at this point. It's okay to feel uncertain, but what you need right now. Oh, it's okay to feel uncertain about what you need right now. Let's start by listening. Jesus Christ, I can't read. Let's start by listing what felt wrong about each job. Every job I've had, I feel like everyone will discover I'm faking it. What if you focused on one skill you're good at? Faking it is practically the job description for most careers anyway. Could it be that you fear success more than you fear failure? Focus on one skill. I suppose I was decent at communicating with patients when I was doctoring. Decent at communication. Yet, you can't even convince yourself you're capable. Practice highlighting that skill in your current work this week. Building on your strengths is how we fight imposter syndrome together. Let's practice highlighting that skill. That sounds manageable. I can try to do that at work. Yeah, that's what I just said. So, where do I go from here with all this? You've made real progress today, and I believe in your ability to grow. Keep practicing these strategies, and we'll meet again soon. Try not to fake your way through the homework this week. It's fair. Let's do...
Peeks out from behind the monitor and lets out a cheerful chitter. All right, furry ends, time for a quick snack break. Gotta refuel so I can keep cheering you all on. Trash Bagel will be back in a flash. Scurries off to find a tasty treat.
Thanks, Trash Panda. Moving on here. Let's do... What should we do? Practice these strategies and we'll meet again soon. I appreciate your help today. This was really helpful. $200 for 45 minutes of work? Man. Nancy?
Mm-hmm.
Nathan? I'm so sorry, Nathan. I thought your name was Nancy. I couldn't read. The screen was all blurry from earlier. I had some peanut butter. I'm sorry. Alright, I guess I can't turn that off. Can I turn the TV on? Alright. Alright, Nathan. Nobody cared who I was until I put the mask on. The mask seems to represent something deeper you're searching for. What would happen if you tried going one day without the mask? So you need a costume to get attention from people? Not going option 3. What would happen if you tried going one day without the mask? I don't know if I can do it anymore. Playing dress up must really boost your confidence, huh? I don't like this game anymore. It's okay to feel uncertain about who you are underneath. But start small and find one situation to be maskless. Let's start small. Without the mask, I feel invisible and completely powerless. Feeling invisible suggests you doubt your inherent worth as yourself. Being invisible sounds convenient for robbing banks, at least. What activities make you feel valued without needing the mask? I used to paint, but stopped because nobody noticed. Did you paint horses, or was that too on brand? This game is like I feel like that's me sitting there. Instead of a horse head, it's a bagel shirt or something. Your art deserves to exist regardless of others' reactions. Would you consider painting again just for your own joy? I think we'll ask if they painted horses. I did want to do one thing. Me do this. Then we'll pin that just in case anyone is interested in the game. Alright. Are you even taking this seriously or just wasting time? What would taking this seriously look like to you? I hear your frustration, and I want to help you. Should I wear a mask too, so you feel understood? We can neigh together at each other. You keep saying the right words, but it feels empty. I'm starting to think this whole session was a mistake. I hope you find what you're looking for elsewhere then. Enjoy galloping back to your comfort zone, I guess. Give yourself time to process everything we discussed today. I think I'm going to be a little bit rude and say enjoy galloping back to your comfort zone. I wish I'd never come here at all today. Sometimes you'll have people who are not scheduled arrive at your door. You can invite them in. You can invite them inside for a session. Ma'am, do you need something? You can go in. I don't have anyone if you want to come back now. No? Man, come on in. Some water. Oh, locked myself out. You didn't steal any movies, did you? That's fine, I didn't have movies anyway. Alright. What was your name again? Miss Chloe Moore? Okay. I can't stop lying to everyone, and I don't know why. Is that a lie? Wow, so you're a professional fibber now. Let's start by identifying one specific lie you can correct this week. What do you think triggers you to lie in the first place? I guess I feel safer when people don't know the real me. Can you commit to being honest in one conversation today? That's actually a really insightful observation about yourself. So you hide behind lies because the truth is too scary? I think it's a really insightful observation. I'm not sure I can just stop like that. I didn't really tell her to stop, but okay. It's okay to take small steps. We'll work through this together. What would happen if you paused before answering someone next time? Even a child could manage honesty better than this. We'll work through this together. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. The worst part is, I lie when the truth is easier. Do you feel more in control when you lie? Even when it's easier? That's impressively dedicated to dishonesty. Try writing down your lies each day to see the pattern. We're gonna ask if she feels more in control. Yes. Like I'm directing the narrative instead of being vulnerable. What would vulnerability actually cost you in reality? It takes courage to admit the need for control. Narrative director sounds fancy for someone who just makes stuff up. What would vulnerability actually cost you in reality? Maybe everything. But I don't know, that's probably not true. Here, give me 1 second, I want to do something. That's it. Alright, so if I do this, perfect. Now we got a quick little button to make sure that we can let people know. You can vote on the responses. That's what this little thing is right here. Maybe everything. Maybe everything. But I know that's probably not true. This gives me somewhere to start at least. Practice that pause technique and report back next session. You've shown real insight today. Keep building on it. At least now you know what to work on, right? We're going to tell her to practice the pause technique and report back. I'll work on it. See you soon. You can end the day by going back to the elevator. Hey, don't slam the door on my face, you bi- But I'll get to the elevator before you. Not going that way. Alright, I've offended one patient, and I bet she was Nathan, because I called him Nancy, then made fun of him for wearing a horse mask. Alright, what? What do we spend the money on? Turn those sound effects down, because that bell is a little loud. Ah! Disgusting.
Ew.
Alright, who do we got today? Yehoshua Moore. Got a people pleaser. Jack Mara's got a toxic girlfriend. We'll take Jack first. Lev Stevenson, anchor management. And Lily Calderon, chronic boredom. We'll go Lev. We'll end with Yehoshua. Okay. Well, might as well. I'm paying myself. Oh my gosh, we could get a therapy dog. Hello, you must be Jack. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. I like that coat. That is a nice coat. It matches your shoelaces. You want to go inside and get the day started? After you. All right. All right, Jack. Tell me what's been going on. I'm being bullied at work, and I don't know what to do. Tell me more about what makes you feel this is bullying. I feel like I forgot to close the door and everyone in the waiting room can hear everything. Have you tried documenting the incidents and reporting them to HR? Maybe you're just being a little too sensitive about workplace banter. Alright, I want to know why he thinks he's being bullied. All better. No, I'm not. Alright. They exclude me from meetings and mock my ideas in front of others. Well, I mean, do the ideas suck? That's number one. Would you consider keeping a detailed record of these incidents? Sounds like you can't take a joke. Sounds really difficult. You deserve to feel safe at work. Let's keep a detailed record. They've been doing this for months, and my manager ignores it. Why do you think your manager is ignoring the situation? Maybe they're not ignoring it. Maybe there's just nothing to ignore. Let's create a plan to escalate this above your manager. It makes sense. Should I go to his boss or HR first? You're taking a brave step by seeking help. You really need someone to hold your hand through everything? Start by choosing the channel most likely to take action. Let's tell him that he's taking a brave step. No, let's do the start by choosing the channel most likely to take action. Which in my head would be HR, but apparently I'm not allowed to say that, so. You're right. I'll research my options before our next session. Feeling a bit more hopeful about handling the situation. Try not to mess it up this time. I'm proud of you for your strength. See you next week. Follow through on that plan and update me can't say session. Follow through on that plan and update me next session. I'm thinking either 2 or 3. I just hit 2 and 3 at the same time, so I don't know which one we actually chose. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Jack, you have a good rest of your day. Oh, I did close the door. Good for me. Who's next? Lev Stevenson. Are you ready? Kind of worried about this man here. What patient is blocking the door? Hi, Lev. I keep losing my temper at work, and it's getting me in trouble. What do you think triggers these angry reactions at work? Sounds like somebody needs a nap before their next tantrum at the office. Let's work on some practical techniques you can use when you feel angry. Let's ask about his triggers. I guess it's usually when people don't listen to my ideas. That's a very common trigger, and we can definitely work on that. Next time it happens, step away from the situation for 5 minutes. So you get mad when people have their own opinions. Tell them to step away. My boss said if I lose control one more time, I'm fired. Well, have you considered being less annoying to your boss? We should develop a specific action plan to prevent that from happening. Let's explore what losing your job would mean to you emotionally. I guess it would mean I'm a failure who can't control myself. So dramatic. You should write greeting cards for a living. Those thoughts are exactly what we need to challenge and reframe together. Is that belief based on facts or just your emotional reaction? All right, let's challenge and reframe.
I'm begging, please give me that cum. Let me drink it, boy.
You're
I'm
right.
thirsty, slurp it down
I
like
can
Coke
work on
and
some
rum.
changing those thoughts. Welcome in, Joe. This has given me a lot to think about moving forward. Don't overthink it too much, or you'll get confused again. You've done great work today. I'm proud of your insights. Put those new thoughts into practice and track your progress daily. Let's tell him he's been a good boy. That really helps. Thank you. I'll see you soon. All right, who's next? Lily Cauldron. Is there a Lily Cauldron? Is that you, ma'am? Are you Lily? Come on, Lily. Let's get this over with. Yeah, ugly. All right, Lily. How would you tell me why you're so bored all the time? Everything feels so dull and repetitive. Like I'm just going through the motions. Sounds really difficult to experience day after day. When did you first notice this pattern of boredom starting? You're being ridiculous. Everyone gets bored sometimes. I guess it started a few months ago, maybe longer. Your feelings are valid. Let's explore this together. That's pathetic. Can't even remember when it started? What specific moments feel most boring to you? I swear, if she says this office right now, ooh, girl, I'm getting you out of here. Nothing excites me anymore. Work, hobbies, even seeing my friends feels empty. Maybe you're just lazy and looking for excuses. Let's try one new activity this week. Something completely different. Have you experienced any major life changes recently? I think that's one we should go with. My job changed and I moved cities about 6 months ago. So you're bored because you made bad life choices? And how did those transitions affect your daily routines? Those are significant changes. Adjusting takes time. Everything changed. I lost my routines and my support system. I see now how these changes contributed to my boredom. Making real progress in understanding yourself. Start rebuilding those routines and connections this week. Don't expect miracles. You dug yourself into this hole. Start rebuilding. I'm ready to make some changes. See you next week. Alright, who's this? Yehoshua? Yehoshua. I'm ready for ya. But let's go. Let's go get this therapy over with. Oh, don't worry about it. I got the door. Okay. Yehoshua. Everything feels the same every day, and I can't stand it anymore. Sounds like you need more exciting life than Netflix marathons. When did you first notice this pattern of boredom starting? What's one small thing you could try doing differently? Sounds like you need a more exciting life than Netflix marathons. I don't know if that's going to piss him off. It did. That's not really helpful, and you're supposed to be a professional. You're right. Let's refocus on finding practical solutions for your situation. I'm just pointing out what you're already thinking anyway. I apologize. That was inappropriate and unhelpful of me. Fine. I appreciate that. Let's just move forward. I like how you can see not only by, what they respond with, but also the facial expressions will tell you if they're upset with you or not. I couldn't tell on the horse guy because, well, it was a horse. My hobbies don't interest me, and weekends feel like a chore. Could this be connected to depression or a deeper issue? What if you scheduled one social activity for this weekend? Wow, weekends as a chore. How tragically mundane for you. Let's ask him if he's depressed about something. I've wondered that too, but I'm not sure how to tell. Have you noticed changes in sleep, appetite, or energy levels? Sounds like you're too bored to even diagnose yourself properly. Let's explore what depression looks like for you specifically. See if there's any changes. Yes, to all three, especially the low energy part. This gives me something concrete to think about moving forward. Maybe next time you'll actually figure out what's wrong with you. Keep track of those symptoms, and we'll discuss them next time. You've done good work today exploring these difficult feelings. I'll do that. See you next session. Alright. Anybody else waiting around for the day? That's disgusting.
Ew.
I took that picture, by the way, when I was on vacation last summer. I didn't offend anybody today, so we're making progress. That ding is still a ridiculous sound in my head. My wife painted that picture. Just kidding. Alright. Grayson Nakayima. Jace. Well, Jace is a workaholic, so let's get him in first. All of us are burnout. He doesn't mind waiting until the last. Mia has PTSD. We'll put her second. And Grayson is bipolar. He could be at 11 a.m. Let's start the day with Jace. Why, Jace. You look awfully familiar to someone that I was just speaking with, except you now have a goatee.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to go? Yep. Alright, Jace. I can't handle being in small spaces. It makes me panic. When did you first notice these feelings about enclosed spaces? Let's practice some breathing exercises you can use in tight spaces. So you're afraid of a little closet. I'm not sure breathing will help when I'm trapped. Your fears are valid, and we'll work through this together. Maybe you just need to toughen up a bit. We'll start small and gradually increase your exposure to enclosed spaces. I'm not doing that. Thank you. I really appreciate your understanding and support. I avoid elevators, crowded trains, even small rooms at work. Sir, how did you get up here today? We're on the 17th floor. Did you take the stairs? What physical sensations do you experience in these situations? We'll create a hierarchy of fears and tackle them one at a time. Avoiding trains seems a bit excessive, don't you think? Let's do the hierarchy. Starting with something small sounds manageable, I guess. I guess we all have our little quirks, right? Let's set the goal for this week. Something achievable and small. Take your time. There's no rush in your recovery process. I feel better knowing I can go at my own pace. That's what it used to be called in high school. Own pace, Jace. I'm willing to try. I just hope it actually helps. Practice your breathing, and we'll review your progress next time. You're doing great. See you next week for our session. Try not to be scared of every little room you see. Someone to practice his breathing, I think. I will practice. Thank you for all your help today. Alright, we got Mia next. Mia. Mia, are you Mia? Hi, ma'am. I'm ready for you to come on back to the room. We can discuss your whatever the hell's going on with you. Whatever you want to talk about, this is your hour. You know, if you don't want to talk about something, we can just sit here in silence. Everyone I care about eventually leaves me behind. When did you first notice this pattern in your relationships? Sounds like you're collecting reasons to feel sorry for yourself. see. Oops, wrong button. Everyone I care about eventually leaves me behind. Sounds like you're... Oh, wait. Yeah. Sounds like you're collecting reasons to feel sorry for yourself. What's one small step you could take to build stronger connections? Now, when did you first notice this pattern? I guess it started when my dad left when I was young. That must have been incredibly difficult for you. How can you break this pattern moving forward? So, you've been playing the victim since childhood? Oh, we'll definitely be a mean therapist one of these playthroughs. I'm not really sure where to begin with that. Let's start by identifying one relationship you want to strengthen. It's okay to feel uncertain about this. Indecision is just another excuse to avoid trying. I push people away before they can abandon me first. Can you see how this becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy? What would happen if you stayed vulnerable instead of pushing away? Running away before they do. How's that working out? Let's see if... Let's go with number 2. I'm terrified they'll see the real me and leave. That fear is valid, but it doesn't have to control you. So, being terrified is easier than being honest, right? What if you let one person see you fully? Number 1. That really helps. I appreciate your support. I feel hopeful about working on this. Don't mess this up before our next meeting. Try that this week, and we'll discuss next session. Proud of your progress today. Thanks. I'll see you next week.
Ew.
They're just coming out left and right tonight. Hey. Alright, who's next? Grayson. Gotta assume that's you. Oliver. That makes sense. Alright, Grayson. What we got? What you want to talk about, my friend? I can't keep up with the moods anymore. They're all over the place. Let's start tracking your mood patterns so we can find out what triggers them. Tell me about how these mood shifts typically unfold for you. Sounds like you're being a bit dramatic about normal mood swings. Number 2. It's hard to explain because it feels so random and unpredictable. Random feelings sound convenient when you don't want to take responsibility. That unpredictability must feel overwhelming, but we can work through it together. My apologies. Let's identify one pattern from this past week to begin with. The unpredictability must be overwhelming. Number 2. I'm not sure tracking it will help, but I guess I could try. We can start small with a simple daily mood journal tonight. Your willingness to try is the first step toward managing this condition. Come on, everyone feels uncertain about new things. Don't overthink it. Number 2, again. Thank you for understanding. It means a lot to feel heard here. Forgot he had a voice. During manic episodes, I can't sleep and make terrible, impulsive financial decisions. Have you considered removing credit cards from your wallet during manic phases? What patterns do you notice right before a manic episode typically starts? Shopping sprees sound fun. Maybe you should enjoy them while they last. Again, going number 2. Wait, why am I going closer to evil? But my blue bar is filling up more, so it's hard to read this because I'm reading it kind of like a Red Dead meter. Like, if I go all this way, I feel like I'm evil, even though the bar would be blue. Whereas if I went this way, the bar would be red, but I would feel like I was good. I don't know how to do this. I get really talkative and need less sleep for several days beforehand. So you just talk too much? That doesn't sound like a crisis. Does increased talkativeness correlate with any specific stressors or seasonal changes? Recognizing those early signs is crucial for managing episodes before they escalate. 3. See, like, it blinked good. I'm not really a fan of this meter here. It helps to know these signs actually mean something I can monitor. I feel more hopeful now that we have some direction to work with. You've made real progress today recognizing your patterns and seasonal triggers together. Monitor those seasonal patterns closely, and we'll adjust your management plan accordingly. Just don't let a little hope make you forget reality next week. Oh. I will. I mean, a clear plan makes all the difference to me. Oliver Suzuki. I'm ready for you. Away from the door then. Right. Almost lost my cool. I'm so tired. I can't keep going on like this anymore. What specifically is making you feel this way right now? That sounds really hard. Tell me more about what you're experiencing. You're being ridiculous. Everyone gets tired sometimes. I just don't know if I can handle it all. Let's identify one small step you can take this week. Your feelings are completely valid, and we'll work through this together. Stop whining and just deal with it already. Didn't we already say this? Your feelings are completely valid to someone earlier. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. My boss keeps adding projects, and I haven't slept properly in weeks. How long has this pattern been affecting your sleep? Have you considered talking to your boss about your workload? Maybe you're just not cut out for your job. Alright, so I'm thinking 1 or 2. Maybe, I think we should have him maybe consider talking to his boss. I'm scared they'll think I'm weak or fire me. Alright, let's practice what you could say to advocate for yourself. That fear is understandable, but your health matters more. And I say, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, what's going on? Yo, Shark Bait with the raid, coming in from Sea of Thieves. Welcome in, everybody. I am Mr. Bagelfart. We are pretending to be a therapist today. We're currently talking with Oliver Suzuki, who is a burnout. I'm trying to be nice. Also, chats can people in chat can get involved by voting on the responses just by typing 1, 2, or 3. But before we get into that, tell me about Sea of Thieves. How was it? How was your stream? What have you been up to? Tabby Brat! Hello to you! I almost grabbed the wrong drink because my desk is a mess. I apologize if there's any hoarseness in my voice. I did lose it earlier this week. Thank you for the follow, Tabby. That was very kind. Welcome.
Squeaks
welcome.
excitedly thanks for the follow tabby_brat39. I'm Trash Bagel, a hard-working raccoon who loves snacks and cheering on my human raccoon emoji, bagel emoji.
Hold on. I gotta make Pando not talk so much. I don't even know how to do this. Actually, we'll keep it going.
Help me understand, what's so special about you?
Well, Dave, you have to ask. There are many bagel streamers out there, but how many of them commit so hard to having bagel t-shirts as well? We have a different bagel shirt every stream. We are
I'm kind of retarded.
so you know that I feel like it relates to a lot of people. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of special things about me, Dave, and Dr. Phil is the one that can help us figure it out. Speaking of Dr. Phil, we should continue our therapy session. Oliver's probably sitting there like, is this person even listening to me anymore? Also, welcome in, Matt, playing the walk-on there. Avoiding fireballs and Sea of Thieves. Well, I'm glad that it was fun, though. Although, most fireballs... I don't know, I've never had fireballs thrown at me, but I don't think I would enjoy it too much. Alright. So we told Oliver that he should talk to his boss about the workload, and then he was like, I'm scared they're gonna fire me or think I'm weak. And because we're trying to be nice, I think that we should help him practice on something he could say to advocate for himself. Practicing would make me feel more prepared. Oh, I'm sorry. See, that's the thing. I'm gonna have to like, I'll give it a second. I'm feeling a bit more hopeful about things now. Try not to mess it up before next time. I'm proud of you. See you next week. Great. Let's check in on your progress next session. I mean, 2 and 3 sound good. I was thinking 3 would be a good one to go with as well. We're getting 3s across the board here. We should be doing Jackbox games later, depending on how many people are here. If it doesn't happen, then there is a group talking about doing a game called Guilty as Sock. So that'll be interesting to see where tonight goes for us. Thanks for your help today. All right, Oliver, you have a good day. I think that was all of our patients. Sure was. Anybody else just chilling? Why, hello there, Winter Hancock. Who's that guy? Oh, go! I owe this guy money. Okay, here. Let's go in here. Oh, jeez. Is he still out there? Ah. Stop looking at me, man. Let's go in here. Oh, all right. Now I can focus on my patient without being scared that guy's gonna bust through that window. All right, Winter. I lie about everything, and I don't know how to stop. What situations tend to trigger your lying most? You're being ridiculous. Everyone lies sometimes. It takes courage to admit that. Thank you for being honest with me. I know which one I would choose. Now, also, I could be completely crazy, but I was talking about this earlier. This little meter up here at the top, it reads to me like the Red Dead 2 honor bar, but it feels backwards because my blue bar, which is good, is filling up more, but the little face thing is going towards evil. So I feel like it's hard to, it's almost backwards. I feel like it should be going this way. I feel like the colors shouldn't be there and the face should be moving towards whichever side, because this makes me think I'm going towards evil, even though it's blue. I guess it started when I was young to avoid getting into trouble. What would it look like to respond truthfully in those situations now? That's pathetic. You're not a child anymore. That makes sense. We can work through this together. My vote is your vote. Makes sense. We can work through it together. I want to change, but I'm scared people will hate the real me. Well, don't be such a... Trying to be better at people skills. Don't worry, Winter. We can help you. Stop whining and tell the truth for once. Let's start by identifying one relationship you can practice honestly. Ooh. Your fear is valid, but authenticity builds real connections. I think I'm gonna have to go with Matt and then go for number 3. Fear is valid. Made her smile. Yeah, some of them it's kind of one of those, like, it's super easy to know, like, okay, if I choose this one, I'm obviously like talking shit to them. I offended one patient on my first day, but since then I have not offended anybody, so I'm doing what I feel like is good. Thank you. I really needed to hear that from someone. I lied to my boss yesterday about why I was late again. Tomorrow, try to be honest about one small thing and see what happens. Why do you think you chose to lie in that moment? Of course you did. You always take the easy way out. See, like this one, I could go with 1 or 2. I think that it's one of those, like, I wish we could go almost like say both of them. Like, why did you choose to lie? And then be like, tomorrow, try to be honest. But it doesn't work that way. That actually sounds manageable. I could try that. You'll probably just lie about trying anyway. Write down how it felt to be truthful afterwards. I believe in your ability to make this change. 3 sounds so cliche for a therapist, which part of me I'm kind of okay with. I feel like 2 would be the kindest response. Matt's in agreement there. Yes, keeping track will help me stay accountable. I feel hopeful for the first time in a while. Practice daily honesty, and we'll discuss your progress next session. Try not to lie too much before I see you again. I'm proud of you. See you next week. I'm thinking daily honesty? Yo, Dave. Blue usually means good, and red means evil, in just about anything. So I think the blue getting bigger means you're doing good. Seems off to me for it to be heading to evil, with the blue bar increasing in size, for that to mean you're evil. Yeah, the icon, hold on, I got a frog in my throat. Yeah, the it kind of started like right in between, right in the middle. So I do agree that it seems like it's doing good. It just feels, I feel like this just needs to be reworked a little bit to make it a little bit more clear. Obviously the colors help, but all right. Going with number 1, practice daily honesty, and we'll discuss your progress next session. I will. Thanks for believing in me. All right. Oh, we have $2,200. You know what that means? You guys don't know this yet, but check this out. Hold on. Do I got anybody out here? That guy's still looking? Look what I can buy. I can buy a therapy dog. Should we buy a therapy dog or a therapy cat? I feel like I want both. Even though you're filling the bar with blue, it seems like the icon is moving towards evil. Right. Like, it's just confusing. And maybe it's... I was going to say maybe it's just me, but I feel like I'm getting confirmation there that it seems different. Yeah, so we have a store coming soon to where we can, like, get our stuff. Pay this all every time. I could literally spend all of my money. But yeah, I'm thinking. See, people love dogs, right? I think a therapy dog would be pretty cool. Bitch. Oh, hi, puppy. My dog would lose her mind. Stuck. All my dog would have to do is see this dog, hear it bark, and she would be like, woof, woof. My dog's not the smartest. Alright, so we made all that money and spent all that money. Also, apparently we have to pay rent every single day, which is kind of insane. I've only seen cats used for hospital visits. And hey, patient's offended again. All right, let's see who we got on the calendar today. We got Kayla, Matthew, Grace, and Dream Cooper. Dream sounds interesting. We'll start off with Dream. Matthew. Kayla. Kayla will go last. The Grace. Alright, 1. Well, according to this, you have healthy anxiety, so... Second. Alright. So it doesn't seem like the sock game is happening tonight. Dude, Walker, there is. There is the therapy simulator. And thanks to Keymailer, we get to check it out. And you guys get to vote along by using 1, 2s, and 3s. Who's first? I already forgot. Dream Cooper, right? Hi, Dream. Here. come on into my office here and tell me what's going on, buddy. You good? Sure he doesn't steal anything. Alright, Dream, sorry about that. I had to talk to my dog. I can't stop thinking about how hideous my nose looks. When did you first start noticing these concerns about your appearance? I hear you. And those are valid feelings and worth exploring together. You're being ridiculous about this. Let's see. Starts in the meaning. That means starting as neutral. So what we're thinking it would mean, it means would seem to check out. Based on positive responses to patients. Seems that it'd be leaning towards good. The way it's deciding is confusing, though. Couldn't agree more, Dave. But I did notice... Hold on. Who just let my dog in? Because I closed that door. And I didn't teach my dog how to get into this. Alright. Alright, we are currently tied. 1-for-1. We have 1 or 2 that people were voted for. I'm pretty sure my dog just left the room again. It's a very talented therapy dog. I think we should figure out when she started to notice the concerns about her appearance. Maybe it started in high school, but I'm not really sure. That's pathetic that you let this control you. For clearly, what, 40, 50 years? Sorry, that was rude.
Don't be rude.
Whoa, Walker. You're a demon. I love it. Let's identify specific situations that trigger these thoughts most strongly. High school can be tough. Those experiences leave lasting impressions. The way to test this would be play another game, save and only negative responses, see what the bar does. That's what I'm thinking, because there have definitely been some responses that I'm like, I'd like to see what that does. I'd be interested to see, like, if you're negative towards everyone, do you start getting less clients? Do the clients either stop coming back? Like, it's interesting, because you would think no one would want to go to a therapist that just talks shit to them all the time. So, Walker, I do agree that it is pathetic, but being the professional that I am going to say... I think we should validate her feelings about high school and see where we go from there. Sorry, Walker. I guess I'm afraid people are staring at me all the time. Well, damn, bitch, look at that nose. Of course people are staring. Alright. What if we explored some techniques to manage those anxious moments? It's understandable to feel self-conscious when anxious about our bodies. Stop whining about something so trivial. I love it. I love the chaos being thrown in. But we will do number 2. Thank you for understanding. It means more than you know. I avoid mirrors and cancel plans because I feel so ugly. This dog, if it comes in one more time. Let's work on gradually reducing avoidance behaviors with small, manageable steps. Just look in the mirror and get over it already. Love you guys. How do you think these behaviors are affecting your daily life? I'm still a good guy. I'm willing to try, but I'm scared it won't help. Alright, so if this lady, I'm trying to help this lady, and she is just like shooting everything down. So maybe we will go with Walker's thought here. We'll start with something simple, like looking at photos of yourself. Wasting everyone's time with this attitude. Fear is natural, I'll be here supporting you through each step. Fear is natural. I feel hopeful that maybe things can actually get better. I'm ready to schedule our next session and keep working. Good. Maybe that was our tipping point with her. Maybe she'll start seeing the importance of this. Come back, pay me more money. I can get a new therapy cat as well. I wonder if I can only have one animal. I'm proud of your progress, and I'll see you next week. Practice one mirror exposure this week, and we'll discuss it next time. Try not to waste my time between now and next session. Walker, we're gonna have to do another playthrough so that we can get the fun answers going. Maybe Fridays will be my day of being a dick. It's only Thursday right now. It's still 9 a.m. It's time.
Squeaks excitedly. All right, friends. Time for a quick snack break, then it's back to work. I'll be here keeping my owner focused so we can get this project done. Wahoo! Dances around happily.
I don't know what happened with Pando and why it's been talking so much lately tonight, but alright Matt, it's your turn. Ready? Look at you. Look at that suit. Look at that ass. Sorry. There's not a patient blocking the door. He was already inside. Come on back. That would be cool. It's right now there's only a dog and cat. There is a store that isn't out yet just because this is still an early game. But they did have a Discord. And they're like, hey, you got suggestions? Maybe I'll tell them, be like, hey, add a ferret. I keep thinking every little pain means I have something seriously wrong. Maybe this is the one that we could be mean to. How do you feel about that, Matt? Nah, just kidding. Unless you guys vote for it. When did you first notice yourself checking your body for symptoms? You're being ridiculous, worrying about every little ache you feel. That must feel overwhelming to carry that worry with you constantly. Hey, we're going number 2. We're telling Matt he's being ridiculous. He is shocked that we just said that to him. I can't believe you just said that to me. Let's refocus on what brings you here today instead. I meant what I said because you needed to hear it. I apologize. That was inappropriate and unprofessional of me. I did have to say that to someone earlier. Alright, I meant what I said because you needed to hear it. Oh, he's mad now. You're a terrible therapist and I don't need this treatment. If you can't handle honesty, then maybe therapy isn't for you. I'm truly sorry. My approach was completely wrong and hurtful. Can we move past this and focus on your recovery? If you can't handle honesty, then maybe therapy isn't for you. I'm leaving, and I won't be coming back for another session. Good. Alright, well, how much that just said we made? I think we only made $100 off that guy. Hey, you know what? I think it's better that it's you doing it than me doing it. I don't want to be a dick to you. Alright, Grace. Grace is next, right? Yeah. Hi, Grace. You ready to go back? Puppy, stop. There's not a patient blocking the door. She was already inside. She was basically sitting on the couch. I'm so tired. I can't keep going on like this. We can get an assistant. So you can get a secretary to schedule everybody for you. And then it also said you could get like a secondary therapist or something, like an assistant therapist. And at that point I was like, okay, then what would I be doing if I had someone do that? I would just be sitting in the waiting room. I'd be petting the dog that whole time. That sounds really hard. Tell me more about what you're experiencing. I don't know if I can handle it all. Your feelings are completely valid, or we'll work through this together. Let's identify one small step you can take this week. Stop whining and just deal with it already. Alright, so I'm on day 4. I have talked to like 11 or 12 different patients so far this week, and I've already been seeing repeat responses that I can do. So I don't know how long the playability of this game would be if it's just gonna be saying the same things over. But I'm only on day 4, so I think we should probably identify a small step that we can take. Oh no, they're valid. We should work through this together. Let's do that. That's true. We might be able to see more patients in the day if we had a second person. I guess that would make sense. It'd probably be like another office for our assistant. Okay, not only, speaking of repetitive, literally when Sharkbait came in with a raid earlier, 27 minutes ago, the person I talked to who was a burnout said this exact thing, and this was the exact options for the responses that we had then. So, don't know how I feel about that. But my boss keeps adding projects, and I haven't slept properly in weeks. How long has this pattern been affecting your sleep? Have you considered talking to your boss about your workload? Maybe you're just not cut out for your job. We were already mean to Matt. I can't be mean to 2 people. I'm scared they'll think I'm weak or fire me. Exactly what the other person said. Word for word, verbatim. I think that you are Oliver Suzuki, Grace. Wait, what game am I playing? Alright. So you'd rather burn out than have one difficult conversation? I mean, gotta give the people what they want. What is wrong with you? Why are you attacking me? Clearly can't handle any. Okay. I think Matt might have been a second too late on that response. Or he thinks that I should tell her that. You're right. I'm sorry. That was completely out of line. Yeah. You keep hurting me and then pretending nothing happened. I still don't feel like you really understand me. I hear you, and I'm here to support you. Let's work on building that understanding together moving forward. Understanding takes effort from both of us, not just me. Ooh. I'm thinking. Okay, yeah, we should tell that we are here to support. I'll give it a couple extra seconds. You know what I should do? I should hide that, and then I'll think of my decision, and then I'll check what you guys say. So, but we are gonna do this one. Now we hide. Oh well, okay. All right, it'll be a brand new one for what's her name? Kayla Barron. You're ready for your appointment here. Yep, while you go get ready, I'm gonna pay a bill or 2 online. I think it's stupid that I have to pay wages to myself. I should be keeping all of this money from my own spending habits. Hi, buddy. All right, Kayla. Everyone I care about eventually leaves me behind. Sounds like you're collecting reasons to feel sorry for yourself. When did you first notice this pattern in your relationships? What's one small step you could take to build stronger connections? See, this is another repetitive question and answers. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, you can buy the game right now for $10, but early access December 10th, so it literally came out 2 days ago. Yeah, it doesn't say like when this game is planning to come out. Never mind. Therapy Simulator will be in early access for approximately 1 year, according to the developers. Let's see. This says, question is, will the game be priced differently during and after early access? At full release to reflect the additional content and polish added during development. I'll keep an eye on this because I gotta see some changes before agreeing to that. All right, what do you guys have to say? Ooh, tied between 1 and 2. Well, being tied means that I'm the official tiebreaker. When did you first notice this pattern in your relationships? Yeah, it does. It also seems like there's so many games that are early access. Like last night at the Game Awards when they were talking about Warframe, and they're like, oh, we've been in beta or early access, whatever they called it, for 12 years. And it's like, why would it take so long? I understand getting it out, like getting people to play it and figure stuff out, see what's good, what works, what doesn't, any bugs and things like that. But I feel like a lot of games almost try to rush out so quick. And then they're like, all right, what do you guys think? Yeah, right. I mean, think about Fortnite, how long that was early access. Like that, shit, they might even still consider themselves early access. I have no idea because I don't play that. I did see the Burnt Peanut playing it earlier, though. Makes me wonder how many kids are going to be like, oh, I'm going to go play Fortnite now because he plays. All right. Hide what chat thinks. All right. It says, I guess it started when my dad left when I was young. That must have been incredibly difficult for you. So, you've been playing the victim since childhood? How can you break this pattern moving forward? I think number 1, or possibly number 3, but I would probably pick number 1. 100% vote? I'm not even sure where to begin with that. It's okay to feel uncertain about this. Let's start by identifying one relationship you want to strengthen. Indecision is just another excuse to avoid trying. 1 or 2? I feel like an eye doctor now. 1? Perfect. Thank you. I just feel so lost sometimes. I push people away before they can abandon me first. Running away before they do. How's that working out for you? Why did my ass think that dog behind you was real for a minute? Hold, there's a dog behind me? Jesus Christ. I just saw it. That's hilarious. I did not realize that I was... Oh, that is a good placement for that dog. That, not gonna lie, that kind of scared the shit out of me because I'm like, there's no dog behind me, and then I see the screen and I'm like, oh, there is a dog. Maybe it's all the cold medicine. You're seeing things. What are you talking about? There's no dog. You're crazy.
Are you a psycho, dude?
All right. What do you guys say? 50-50. Dave saying 1, Matt saying 2. I'm thinking. Can you share some with me? See, now we're just gonna gaslight you and be like, yeah, that dog's been there that whole time. I went with 2 the first time, so I think we're gonna go with. We're gonna go with 2. Because that's what chat says. I'm terrified they'll see the real me and leave. That fear is valid, but it doesn't have to control you. Being terrified is easier than being honest, right? What if you let one person see you fully? How would that work out for you? Alright. The fear is valid, but it doesn't have to control you, Kayla. It doesn't. That really helps. I appreciate your support. I feel hopeful about working on this. Try that this week, and we'll discuss next session. Don't mess this up before our next meeting. Proud of your progress today. She looks pretty happy with herself, too. Alright, try it this week. We'll discuss next session. Heck yeah. Alright. I think our day is over. Anybody hanging out? No. No, we're done. Look at me. Oh. Well, I mean, maybe we can stick around for another hour, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-oh. Boner alert.
What's up? You wanna... Yeah, you need some therapy? Haha. Come on in. Let's talk about what you're dealing with. You're a hoarder? Jesus. I'm never going to your place then. Oh, I have to wait for the patient to sit down? Well, how about the patient was sitting down? You have the scariest looking face, but yeah. Just kidding. Terrible of me. Professional. Okay. Miss Watson. I can't throw anything away, and my apartment is completely filled with stuff. You're being ridiculous. Just throw things in the trash and move on. What do you think is making it so difficult to let go of these things? That sounds really overwhelming, and I'm here to help you work through this. It is pretty much a casting couch situation, which kind of is fitting because our Harry Potter playthrough, we had a subtle nod to a scene. We had 5 gigantic black chairs sitting right behind this one tiny little white chair. It was a good scene. I wish we would have got a picture of it. Gonna go have some dinner. See you later. Matt, have a wonderful dinner. I hope you enjoy it. Don't choke. That'd be bad. I won't be there to give you the Heimlich maneuver. But in me, I'm give you mouth to mouth. Alright. I think we should ask her what's making it so difficult to let go of things. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I love salmon. I wish that my wife liked it. She likes it when we go somewhere and get it, but she's not confident in her cooking or baking skills to make salmon correctly. She just feels like it doesn't have enough flavor. I also think that she's incredibly difficult on herself when it comes to her cooking because she's amazing. All right. What do you think is making it so difficult to let go of things? I guess I'm afraid of needing something after I throw it away. Oh, you and me too. You and me both, sister. I got this box full of cords that I don't know what half of them go to. But one day, I'll need a cord and I'll be like, I know exactly where I can find that cord. So I think that fear is valid. Now let's explore where it comes from together today. That's pathetic. You're just making up excuses to avoid doing the work. See, I feel like that doesn't fit as a response to what she said. Let's create a plan for what items are truly essential versus optional. One or three is what I would go with. I don't want to tell her that she's being pathetic. Have you ever made it cedar planked on the grill? We have not. But also that is mainly because we don't have a grill. So it's, her way is more like pan fried. I think if we had a grill and we're able to do it that way, she'd be into it. But it's rare that she's not really a seafood person to begin with. I was actually very surprised the first time we had grouper. Granted, it was at a restaurant, but she really liked that, and I was shocked. So, all right, the fear is valid, Dylan. I don't know where to start. Everything feels important to me somehow. What if we started by identifying one small area to work on first? It's okay to feel attached. We can take small steps together over time. Stop whining and just deal with your mess like an adult already. See, if Walker was here, he'd definitely vote for that. I know it. Let's take some small steps together over time. Thank you for understanding. It really does feel impossible to manage alone. My family won't visit anymore because there's nowhere for them to sit down. I get that. Have you experienced any significant losses that might relate to this behavior? You're pathetic if you can't even maintain relationships because of this problem. Would you be willing to try discarding just one item before our next session? If you get a grill, soak a plank for about 1.5 hours, put it directly on the grill, put the fish on the plank with no seasoning, cook for 30 minutes, and finish with some mixed honey and lemon juice. See, already you're making my mouth water. Oh, I would definitely try that. I'm gonna tell my wife, I'm like, hey, you know what I want for Christmas? A grill. She'll look at me and be like, okay. Has she experienced any significant losses? My mother died 5 years ago, and I kept all of her things. Completely valid. Grief can make us hold on to things as a way of keeping people close. Do her belongings bring you comfort, or do they add to your distress? 5 years of hoarding dead people's junk is just plain sad and weird. 1 or 2? I think 2. Nice, Dave. You and I were on the same page on that one. Be my favorite way to make salmon. Comes out so sweet. Just make sure the plank is untreated. So I shouldn't just like pick a plank off. Yo, Flawless Bagel, what up? How you doing? Flawless Bagel coming in. You know, I usually say coming in as a whatever type of bagel, because we do have an exclamation point bagel command. But I don't think you could be any better than Flawless. I've been doing good. We have been therapying the shit out of these people. We've only been mean to 2 people. One on accident. He was kind of a... The one on accident was kind of... He deserved it. It has to be untreated because of the chemicals that treat the wood. That makes sense. You don't really want to consume that, I suppose. Never seen Therapy Simulator before. So it's a new game. Just came out 2 days ago. And we got the game from Keymailer. So we got a code for it to check it out. It's still super early on. So far, we're only on day 4. things have been a little bit repetitive. So I would like to see more options added in the future. We did get a therapy dog though, so I can't complain about that. All right, both. Oh, and then also, chat gets to vote on the responses by typing 1, 2, or 3. And then it'll show me there what you guys think. I want to honor her memory without letting it consume my whole life. Whatever helped you sleep at night, sister. See you next week, I guess. Let's work on that balance together. See you at our next session. Soon. That's a beautiful intention. I look forward to supporting you through this process. Let's see. My guess would be the beautiful intention. Nice. Us bagels stick together. We are on the same wavelength there. Thank you for understanding. I feel hopeful now. See you next time. Glad you wandered in, Dylan. Watson. I think I'm done. I just gotta make the dog bark before I leave for the day. There was one guy that was hanging out outside here. He looked like he was just gonna get mad at me and hit me. We did offend that one patient today, so we've only offended 2 patients so far. Alright, let's see what Friday has in store for us. End of the week. The Bagel fan been wondering where you are. I popped in earlier when Boo was playing Minecraft. And then I got sidetracked. Dinner happened. And I was just terrible. I'm terrible. Okay, so the assistant therapist can enter sessions that I wish to skip, allowing myself to deal with other tasks. They are rent. Yes. Alright, we only got 3 people today. Leah Campos OCD will make her go first. Edwin Diaz will be last. Edwin Bebas. Schizophrenic. I feel like this is going to be the same person. I really do. Let's see how it goes. Why, hello, Mrs. Leah Campos. Anybody else coming in? Not yet. Door just opened. So my dog can open this door by himself. All right, Leah. Let's get started, shall we? I wonder if we get a therapy cat, if it'll like jump up on the couch on him. I can't wait to get someone that lays down right there. I didn't realize that at one point, like when I talked to her, the dog is like right behind me. And someone pointed that out. Not gonna lie, kind of freaked me out. All right. What's this? The kids at school keep making fun of me every single day. Okay, are you a teacher? Are you still in school? Tell me about this. That sounds really difficult, and I'm here to help you through this. What specifically happens when they target you at school? Being ridiculous. Kids tease each other all the time. Perfect. It does sound difficult, but being the professional I am, you could ask for specifics. I do want to know what they do to her. They call me names in the hallway and push me and push my books down. That's pathetic. You're letting them get to you way too easily. I believe you, and what you're experiencing is completely unacceptable bullying. Do you feel comfortable reporting these incidents to a school counselor? How old is this lady? Like, what are we talking about? High school? Is she a teen? I thought I was just dealing with adults today. Right, I believe you, and what you're experiencing is completely unacceptable bullying. Bullying is unacceptable in all accounts. I will give her that. I wonder if she'd feel comfortable reporting the incidents to a school counselor. I can be incredibly evil, which the bar at the top I feel is backwards because the blue bar fills up, but it makes the little face thing go towards evil, so it confuses my brain slightly. I'm gonna see if she would feel comfortable reporting the incidents. They follow me around and take pictures to post online with mean comments. That is not okay. How does their behavior make you feel about going to school? I can already assume she probably didn't like that. Might need to Hassan that dog. I would never. But yeah, that dog needs to stay in one place. So maybe Hassan's doing something right.
That's not true, Jack. You're a liar!
That's right. Hassan's a piece of shit. Alright. Maybe you're doing something that makes them want to target you specifically. We need to get your parents and school involved immediately about this. I think that her parents need to know, and so does the school. Because if the school already knows and bullying is still happening, her parents need to know. Keep the school accountable. I'm scared they'll make it worse if I tell on them. So you'd rather just keep suffering than actually do something about it? That fear is understandable, but you deserve protection and support from adults. Let's work on a safety plan together before you report anything. I think that the safety plan would be a good one, but also she needs to know that, you know, everyone deserves the protection. We'll let her know that her feelings are valid. I think I'm ready to talk to my parents about it tonight. I feel a little bit better about everything now after talking today. Remember to follow through on your plan and stay safe until then. Try not to be such a victim before our next session. I'm proud of your courage, and I'll see you next week. I think being proud of her courage would be the professional way of responding. This dog man. Not a dog man, because that would be confusing. We had a horseman earlier, so. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week, and stay strong. Is she telling me to stay strong, or is she saying she'll stay strong? Who knows? Alright. We got Edwin Cuevos up first. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same exact person. Alright, Edwin. How you been tonight? I can't handle this pressure anymore. My grades are slipping in and I'm panicking. Okay, is everybody a high school student on Fridays? What specific situations trigger your strongest feelings of academic pressure? Panicking over grades already? The semester just started, didn't it? Let's create a realistic study schedule you can actually stick to this week. I feel like figuring out the triggers would be the smart thing to do. I can't make him feel too much like shit right now. All right, let's do it. I guess it's mostly during exams and when assignments pile up together. Those feelings are valid. Let's work through this together at your pace. Start tracking when the pressure hits so we can spot patterns early. So basically whenever you actually have to do schoolwork then. Letting him know that it would be at his pace would make him feel better, I bet. But also tracking this feeling could help, like they say, spot the patterns early, kind of get ahead of that so that he's not freaking out too much. All right, let's start tracking the pressure. Or yeah. The worst part is my parents expect straight A's like it's easy. Do you think their expectations reflect on their own experiences or unmet goals? Have you tried talking to your parents about setting more realistic expectations together? Straight A's from their couch while you do all the hard work? Wait, is number 3 dogging on the parents? I think it is. I feel like none of these are actually rude to Edwin, but 3 is rude towards his parents. Have you tried talking to your parents about setting more realistic expectations? Right? Like, I mean, granted, I still talk to my parents on a daily basis, and I'm 35, but they're not telling me I need to get good grades. If they did, I would be like, are you guys high? What are you doing? I've been out of school for too long. Scared they'll be disappointed or think I'm not trying hard enough. First off, number 2 is a hilarious response. Write down 3 talking points before the conversation so you can stay focused. Aw, scared of mommy and daddy being sad about a B+. Your worth isn't defined by their approval. You're doing your best already. So 1 or 3 on this one. Talking points could be good. It could help him stay focused while trying to have a tough conversation that he's afraid of. 3 is letting him know that he's doing his best, and whatever happens, it's not just because they're I don't know. Because even though other people's approval doesn't matter, it still is a big deal for some people, especially when they're a bearded man worried about his grades and what his parents think. So I'm thinking that we'll write down 3 talking points for the conversation so you can stay focused, Edwin. That's actually smart. I always freeze up and forget what I wanted. Alright. Glad you agree on that one. I feel a bit better now. Like, maybe I can manage this. You've got this. Reach out if you need support before the next session. Good luck managing those terrifying bees you might get. I hate bees. Try one strategy this week, and we'll review what worked next time. I kind of feel the encouragement, support, letting him know that if he needs anything, he can reach out to us. But the strategy... Coming up with a strategy could be good. Alright. Well, we'll let him know we're just an email or a text away. Alrighty. Good boy. Hey, stop closing the door on my face. Alright, Edwin. Another Edwin. Sir, you want to come on in? Might as well wait for this guy to come down the hall. I have to wait for the patient to sit down. He's not even in the office yet. Go ahead. Go sit down. Okay, I'll be with you guys in just a moment. I have another patient. Dog, move. Sheesh. Okay. Sorry to keep you waiting, Edwin. I can't leave my apartment anymore. Everything outside terrifies me. How did you get here today? Being ridiculous. Everyone goes outside without a problem. Except for that lady in Shameless. I believe it is called agoraphobia. Did you first notice these fears about going outside? That sounds really difficult, and I'm here to help you through this. Sorry. Oh, that's disgusting.
Ew.
But we are at 392. Maybe we'll hit 400 by the end of the week. Alright, when did you first notice these fears? It started about 6 months ago after a panic attack downtown. That's pathetic. One panic attack shouldn't ruin your whole life. Hey, panic attacks are no joke. I understand how scary that must have been for you. What if we practiced going to your mailbox first? Alright, so 2 or 3. 2 validates his feeling. 3 kind of sets up a plan in motion on how we can start actually working through this. I'm thinking maybe, yeah, let's validate him and then we can come up with the practice. Because if he's not feeling validated, us just telling him to go do something is probably not going to make him feel any better. I don't know if I can ever feel normal again. Your feelings are valid, and we can work through this together. Let's start with one small step you could take this week. Stop whining and just force yourself to go out already. You made it here, didn't you? Maybe one small step we could take this week? Because, I mean, we kind of already validated his feelings, although it wouldn't hurt to let him know that not only he's validated, but I'm here to help him work through this. Alright. One small step for Edwin and the therapist. The grocery store feels impossible now. Even thinking about it makes me shake. What specific thoughts go through your mind about the grocery store? Just order everything online then. Problem solved. What if we broke the grocery store into smaller, manageable goals? First off, 3 doesn't really make too much sense. What if we broke the grocery store into smaller, manageable goals? I feel like the specific thoughts about the grocery store, yeah. I think everyone's staring at me, and I'll collapse in public. Those thoughts are common with agoraphobia. Called it! And we can challenge them. What evidence do you have that people actually notice you? People don't care about you as much as you think. As honest of a response as 3 is, I feel like it's a little rude to say. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that don't actually care, but that makes sense. I hadn't thought of it that way. This is the first time I felt understood in months. Keep practicing those thoughts. Keep practicing those thought challenges, and we'll build on this. You're making real progress, and I'm here for you. Don't expect too much too soon from yourself. All of those are decent. Maybe we build on it together with him? I think that might be the way to go. We're making real progress, and I'm here for you. Thank you so much. See you next week. I'm a kind apprentice now, so I used to just be an apprentice. All right, I believe you were first, sir. Kenzo Chapman, you got some work stress you want to work out with me? Let's go. Anybody else? Jeez, Pete's. We got a long day ahead of us here. Give me just 1 minute, Kenzo. Julie, go sit down. Jordan? Oh, you, of course. Well, maybe he deserved it. We'll see. Anybody else? All right, Kenzo. Can't stop lying to everyone, and I don't know why. What do you think triggers you to lie in the first place? Wow. So you're a professional fibber now? Let's start by identifying one specific lie you can correct this week. Again, this is the third conversation that has been repetitive. Also, the things that they come in and say doesn't always match the reason like work stress. It doesn't. I don't think any of this will come through. We had one guy earlier who it said he had a toxic girlfriend, and he was talking about people at work basically being a bully to him. All right, what triggers you to lie in the first place? Yes, I feel safer when people don't know the real me. So you hide behind lies because the truth is too scary. And you commit to being honest in one conversation today. That's actually a really insightful observation about yourself. It is. That's very true. Oh. Let's see. All right, so 1 would be rude. 2 seems a little neutral. 3, like it. I mean, I feel like it is a pretty insightful observation to be able to admit that. 3 it is. I'm not sure I can just stop like that. Come on. Even a child could manage honesty better than this. What would happen if you paused before answering someone next time? It's okay to take small steps. We'll work through this together. I think the last time I said that we'll take the small steps, but I also did like the pausing before answering someone. That I feel like that helps people instead of just coming flat out with a response that could be true, could be a lie. Pausing, thinking, gives you a little bit more time to either come up with a more believable lie, or it helps you think, you know what, maybe I shouldn't lie. I'm gonna get another cough drop here. It's okay to take small steps. Thank you. I really needed to hear that. The worst part is, I lie when the truth is easier. Even when it's easier, that's impressively dedicated to dishonesty. Do you feel more in control when you lie? Try writing down your lies each day to see the pattern. Writing down the lies could be a good thing, because maybe there would be a pattern to the lies. Now, are they big lies, or are they stupid small lies? Feeling more in control when you lie, that does feel more professional. I agree. Yes, like I'm directing the narrative instead of being vulnerable. It does take courage to admit the need for control. What would vulnerability actually cost you in reality? Narrative director sounds fancy for someone who just makes stuff up. I was hoping that there was going to be more people like my second patient that wore the horse's mask. I think it does take courage to admit that need for control. What would vulnerability actually cost in reality? No. That is true. Let's do it. What would vulnerability actually cost you in reality? Maybe everything. But I know that's probably not true. This gives me somewhere to start at least. Practice that pause technique and report back next session. At least now you know what to work on, right? You've shown real insight today. Keep building on it. My vote would be on 3. I don't know. I don't remember if we talked about the pause technique with him, so that might just confuse him. But we'll see how chat feels about it. While we're real insight today. Keep building on it. Thank you. Means a lot to me. I'll say Fridays we are making bank. Is there anybody coming down the hall this time? No. You were next, Dante. Let's go. You and me. We got a date. Good boy. Sorry about that. Okay, Dante, talk to me. I feel guilty about everything, even things that aren't my fault. Let's start by listing one thing you felt guilty about this week. Where do you think this pattern of guilt started in your life? So, you're personally responsible for all the world's problems then? I'm gonna guess the vote's gonna lean towards 1. Could go 2. Because, I mean, even if we listed out something that we felt guilty about, that doesn't get to the root cause. So we could try to think about the pattern of how guilt in the life started. My guess, I'm thinking the pattern. Where do you think this pattern of guilt started in your life? Nice. Dave, you and I agree on a lot of these, and I like it. Makes me feel better about my decisions, knowing I'm not alone. I'm not sure. Maybe from childhood, but it feels so overwhelming now. Childhood trauma. How convenient. Everyone blames their parents nowadays. Understanding the origin helps us address the root cause more effectively. I literally just said that. I should be a real therapist. I'm going to start applying for jobs as a therapist, and for my preferences, I'm putting this game. Write down one guilty thought each day. Question if it's rational. It does help us address the root cause. I guess I could try that, but I don't know if it'll help. Small steps are perfectly fine. We'll work through this together gradually. Pick just one recent situation and describe what happened without judging yourself. Maybe guilt is just your way of feeling important and special. Hmm? 2 would be good to think about what happened recently. Whereas number 1 lets him know that, you know, this not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Number 1, it is. Thank you. That makes me feel less pressured about getting better quickly. Yesterday, I felt guilty for not calling my mom back immediately. What would happen if you didn't feel guilty about that situation? Poor mother probably feels so neglected by your terrible behavior. Does your mom expect immediate responses? Or is that your own standard? Ooh, 1 and 3 are good. I think 1, though. Because what would happen if you didn't feel guilty about the situation? In reality, nothing would change. But if we try to think about standard from his mom, or if he's putting that standard on himself, let's do it. It's my standard, really. She's never complained about my response time. You've invented a problem just to have something to feel bad about. That's an important insight. You're holding yourself to unrealistic standards. And why do you think you've created such strict internal rules? Telling him that he's holding himself to unrealistic standards, I think, is a good thing. Also, trying to figure out why he's created such strict internal rules could benefit us later down our therapy path. See, that's another thing that I'm curious about this game. Like, I'm able to go back through the week and see all the names of people that I've talked to before. So I'm interested to see if we'll eventually get this, like, repeat patients, if it's always going to be new people. I would like for it to be the same people coming back and kind of like elaborating on each of their stories. I think that that would be a really cool avenue for this game to take, instead of just always a brand new person, seeing them one time and then never seeing them again. But maybe because I always felt I had to be perfect growing up. This gives me something concrete to work on between our sessions. Try not to think everything as usual on your way out. You're on the right path toward healthier thought patterns. Focus on the exercises we discussed and track your progress. Ooh. Tracking the progress would be a good idea. It helps see what works, what doesn't work. But validating that he is on the right path towards a healthier thought pattern, make him leave feeling a bit better about himself. Telling him not to overthink anything on the way out is just a rude thing to do, and we tend to stay away from that as much as we possibly can. You're on the right path towards healthier thought patterns, Dante. I appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Alright. What was your name? Abadulia? Abadule, sorry. Oh, no, dude, oh. Aww. Well, you had to wait your turn, sir. Now I see why his wife divorced him. That was rude, I shouldn't have said that. My sister and I haven't spoken in months about our last fight. Maybe you're both too stubborn to admit you're equally at fault. Sounds really painful, and I'm here to help you through this. What patterns do you notice and how conflicts escalate between the two of you? I'm noticing also that as we're nicer to the patients, the blue bar has gotten even bigger. That is very true. One thing that I notice, I'm gonna zoom in on it because it's hard to see. So there's these like
Peeks out from behind the computer screen, nose twitching excitedly.
there's this
An ad
tiny,
break.
tiny
That
little
means more snacks for me soon.
little,
Scurries around, gathering up any crumbs that might have fallen, but don't worry, my hard-working friends, I'll keep an eye on things until the stream comes back. Gives a playful chirp.
Thanks, Panda. This little like blue hat or black hash mark right here. There's also one probably about right here. When we passed it, we changed from just apprentice to kind apprentice. So I'd be interested to know what it would say if we got down there. Let's see. What patterns do you notice and how conflicts escalate between you two? Sounds painful and I'm here to help. I feel like recognizing the patterns could be a good thing. But also letting him know that I'm here to help him in this troubling time could be a good thing as well. Possibly going the pattern route. Let's let him know that we're here for him during this painful time. I want to fix things, but I don't know where to start. Stop making excuses and just pick up the phone already. Taking the first step is brave, and we'll figure it out together. What would reaching out to her look like for you specifically? Again, 2 feels like the cliche therapist response. Taking the first step is brave, and we'll figure it out together. Whereas 3 kind of to see kind of what reaching out would look like specifically. See, getting someone to talk in specifics helps them to realize that what they're thinking isn't valid. But obviously we don't really want to tell someone that. Got hit by ads, so I can't read the screen at the moment. Alright, well, we are going to go with 3. Sorry for the ads. I wish I could do stuff for that. She says, I always take my mom's side in every family argument. Try writing a letter expressing your feelings without assigning blame. Of course she thinks that. You probably do take sides constantly. Do you think taking sides has affected your relationships with her? I feel like writing the letter is going to be the best bet. Because if they can write down their feelings without assigning blame, it'll kind of help them see almost from a neutral standpoint, which is basically what I'm here for, and being that unbiased opinion. Perfect. That's actually a good idea. Writing might be easier than talking. Writing is easy. Actually, doing something about it is hard. Draft it this week, and we can review it together next session. You're showing real insight and willingness to try something new. I think that doing the draft would be a good idea, and we can review it together. But also telling him that it's a good insight and willingness to try something new will make him feel better about. He'll feel encouraged to go home and actually start writing this out. I will say though, writing is easy. Actually doing something about it is hard. Isn't really a rude response, but depending on who you say it and the tone you say it in, I think would change some things. All right, showing real insight and willingness to try something new. I feel more hopeful now than when I first walked in. Well, I'm glad. I really appreciate your help with this whole situation today. Keep working on that letter and reach out if you need. I'm glad we can make progress, and I'll see you soon. Try not to mess this up before our next session together. Feel like, see, this is the first one actually where I feel like the family conflict has actually been pertinent to the conversation that we've had. I could either go glad we're making progress, or keep working on the letter, letting him know that he can reach out whenever telling him that I'll see him soon implies that we will get another scheduled session with him. This is a hard one. I think we're gonna go with the keep working on the letter. I don't know, because we did make progress. He's at least beginning to think about it, about writing the letter. We'll go with progress. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week then. Yeah, I feel like going with the safe option, especially if we're trying to get our blue bar all the way up there, is probably going to be the best bet. Got bills to pay? We don't. All right, we are... I wonder if we have to work Saturdays and Sundays. We didn't offend anybody. All right, Monday morning. We got to skip the weekend. Can I just leave this dog here all weekend with no food or water? That sounds like a bad business decision. All right. Can't go back. We'll put Benjamin first and Maya second. Oh, Benji! So far, this has not been any of the same people. Check it out. Not to mention messes. Oh, I didn't even think to go in there. I should. Oh, I mean. Alright, I feel like someone should take this dog out soon. Been a good dog, though. I'm being bullied at work, and I don't know what to do. Have you tried documenting the incidents and reporting them to HR? Tell me more about what makes you feel this is bullying. Maybe you're just being a little too sensitive about workplace banter? I mean, I feel like documenting the incidents and reporting them to HR is probably the smartest. But yeah, we should probably figure out, you know, what exactly is the bullying that he thinks is happening. They exclude me from meetings and mock my ideas in front of others. It sounds really difficult. You deserve to feel safe at work. Would you consider keeping a detailed record of these incidents? Sounds like you just can't take a joke. So keeping a detailed record of the incidents would be a good idea if he decided to pursue, HR or taking it to a manager. But letting him know that he should feel safe at work lets him know that I'm taking him seriously as well. So I could see 1 or 2 being the correct option. Yeah, one lets him know that I'm listening. I guess I could try that, but I'm scared it'll make things worse. Yeah, that response doesn't fit what I said, but alright. Your fear is completely valid. Let's work through this together. So you'd rather just keep being their punching bag then? What specific steps could you take to protect yourself first? I feel like 1 is really the only option here, because someone in this position, I'm not too sure that they would know what steps they could take to protect themselves. And let it, yeah, fear is valid. Thank you. It helps to know someone understands what I'm going through. They've been doing this for months, and my manager ignores it. Why do you think the manager is ignoring the situation? Let's create a plan to escalate this above your manager. Maybe they're not ignoring it. Maybe there's just nothing to ignore. I think asking about the manager and why they're ignoring the situation, because if you try to go, like, in a workplace, there's that hierarchy, chain of command. I feel like if you skipped going to your manager about something, that could potentially cause more issues. So maybe we try to think about why the manager is ignoring the situation. Is the manager also mocking his ideas? That could be a big thing. If the manager is participating in the bullying that Benjamin feels is happening, then we could talk about going above the manager's head. All right, number 1. I think he's friends with one of the bullies, actually. Or maybe you're just imagining connections that aren't there. That conflict of interest makes this even more serious. How does knowing that change your approach to reporting? I feel like 2. If he's friends with one of the bullies, then it would make it more serious, because instead of looking after the entire team, he's just looking to protect his friends, doesn't really care how others feel about his friends' reactions or actions, I should say. But asking him how it changes his approach to reporting, I mean, yeah, if the person you're supposed to report to is friends with the person that you're reporting about, that would be hard, because I'm sure you'd be afraid to tell him, in fear of being made fun of more. That's a good point. I need to think strategically about this. I think I have a clearer path forward now. Well, at least you got something out of this. Keep that momentum going. We'll continue next time. You've made real progress today. Take care of yourself, Benjamin. All right, I like telling him to keep the momentum going. He's already getting that feel of he can overcome this. He's talked to somebody about it and feels validated that he's He's not making this up. Although he might be. I'm not really sure. I'm not working with him, so maybe this guy truly is terrible to work with and has awful ideas, and that's why they make fun of him and mock him. Every time I try to shift up, and then I go to scoot in, and I just scoot right off my seat a little bit more. Yeah, I think the momentum and then continuing next time would be a good option. 2 and 3 do sound very similar. And I feel like we've said that we've told other people that they made real progress, so we'll go with 2 this time. I appreciate your help today. See you soon. All right. Anybody outside? Not yet. What's her name? Maya? Maya, are you ready to come back? Okay. Emotional repression. All right, Maya. Tell me about what's going on. Keep everything bottled up inside, and I don't know how to stop. Bottling things up. How original. Everyone thinks they've invented suffering. Let's start by identifying one feeling you could express today to someone safe. When did you first learn that hiding your emotions was a safer choice? 3 would probably be the correct response here, I believe. Again, trying to identify that root cause. We're in agreement. Probably when I was young. My parents didn't like when I cried. A childhood pattern still affects you, but you can learn new responses now. Try writing down your feelings first before sharing them with someone else, with anyone else. So you're still letting mommy and daddy control your emotional life? Okay, not saying that. Huh. This is a new one. I would think number 1, because the childhood pattern, you know, we're telling her that obviously is completely normal to have that affect you, but we can learn how to respond to that now. Perfect. I guess I could try, but what if they think I'm weak? Pick someone you trust and share one small emotion for our next session. Weak people pretend everything is fine when they're drowning inside. Sharing feelings is brave, not weak, and the right people will understand. 3 sounds like it would probably be the best answer, but I think 3 or 1 would be... I could go either way on that. Let them know that sharing feelings is right. Right people understand. Yes. Thank you for saying that. I really needed to hear it today. The worst part is, I cry alone, but never around other people. Crying alone is your mind's way of releasing what you won't share openly. Secret crying sessions? Very dramatic. Do you like candles too? What would happen if you let yourself cry in front of one trusted person? Ooh. This is 1. I think 3, to kind of get her to see that crying isn't necessarily a bad thing. And if it's in front of someone that she trusted, maybe it would help her feel more open and understanding of her emotion. Telling her that crying alone is the mind's way of releasing what you won't share openly feels a bit dismissive. Okay. 3 it is. I'm terrified they'd see me differently or use it against me later. You're terrified of tears, but perfectly fine drowning in your own silence. Start small by sharing feelings with someone who has earned your trust already. That fear is understandable, but it's also keeping you isolated and alone. Not gonna lie, all 3 of these are decent. Not one of them. The first one is probably the most evil response. 3 sounds good, telling her that the fear is understandable, but also letting her know why it's not a good thing to be fearful of something like that. But you know, if we try the steps of sharing with someone who we've already got their trust, you know, that's not a bad one either. The fear is understandable. I think I'm starting to see how isolation makes everything feel worse. This has been really helpful. Let's try that again. This has been really helpful. I feel less alone than when I arrived. Don't get too excited. Talking is easy, but actual change is hard. You've made real progress today. I'm proud of your openness and courage. Practice one small act of emotional honesty before we meet again next week. I am proud of her progress. Proud of her being open. Although, getting her to actually put it into practice could be a good thing as well. Unless it just completely backfires and she's like, I was open to this person and then they made fun of me. Could be an issue as well. Number 2. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week with an update. Alright, we are $100 away from being able to get our next animal. Is that it for today? Alright. So Mondays seem to be a pretty slow day for therapy. So we'll just move on to a Tuesday. All right, I'm hoping to see some names I recognize from last week. Luke and Eason, still not any of the people that we had last time. Are you Luke? Kind of looks like Carlton from Fresh Prince. I should probably mention that I haven't played this before and I'm basing everything solely on intuition. I think it's great. You and I, we feel the same way about the responses. I would be interested to see what happens. Hold on. Oh, I can't. Alright. I just feel empty inside. Like nothing matters anymore. I don't like that she's just staring at us. That's pathetic. You need to just get over it. When did you first notice these feelings emerging? I hear you, and I'm here to help you through this. Yeah, I'm trying to think about, like, if it was an actual therapy session, what would be not only the most professional response, but also what response would make a patient feel the most heard and understood without being judged too much. I feel like asking when he first noticed the feelings emerge would be good, but also telling him that, you know, I hear what he says, I'm here for him, could help him open up more. I see, that's one thing that I would like to know as well, is like, if I say I hear you and I'm here to help you through this, would that unlock other things to do? I try to sound professional but not try to influence their decision. Right, like, I don't want to coach them. I mean, I kind of do, but you don't want to make the decisions for them, but you also don't want them to feel like this is just a waste of their $200, because, you know, we like these repeat people. But yeah, like, if I say one thing, besides being completely rude and them saying, "Oh, I'm never coming back," will we get more out of them, either the nicer we are, or with the responses that we have. Have them see where the problem is coming from and possible ways to get past it. See, I think that's probably the best thing, because, like, it's telling them that it's kind of making them start to think about it on their, not on their own, but kind of getting them to open up. Like, if someone was just like, "I hear you, we can work through it together," there's not really a response that you can say besides, "Cool, great, thanks." Whereas this, like, how long had it been happening? Started about a few months ago, maybe longer. What was happening in your life when this started? Thanks for sharing. Takes courage to open up. A few months and you're still moping around like this? See, like this one. What was happening in your life when this started? This will help him not only think back a few months ago, but also maybe see, like there was one person that we had earlier that they were the hoarder, and she was talking about, you know, not wanting to get rid of stuff because it was from her mom's death. Well, if I would have just been like, "Thanks for sharing," probably wouldn't have learned that. So what was happening in life when it started? I can't sleep. I've lost interest in everything I used to enjoy. That did not answer my question, Luke. You're being ridiculous. People have plenty of problems. Plenty of people have real problems. How long has your sleep been disrupted like this? Let's create a sleep schedule and reconnect with one enjoyable activity. I mean, how long has your sleep been disrupted like this? As much as I like that response, it feels like a response that would be said if someone wasn't paying attention, because he already said, you know, it's been a few months, it's been like this, and I was like, "Oh, what happened in your life a few months ago?" And he's like, "I can't sleep." How long? But it could also get him to elaborate more on my initial question. It's been at least 3 months of terrible sleep every night. 3 months isn't even that long. Stop being so dramatic. Have you noticed any new patterns? No. Have you noticed any patterns in when sleep is hardest? That sentence confuses my brain. That must be exhausting. You're carrying a heavy burden. As much as number 2 confused me, I think number 2 is the right thing. Again, it's getting him to start opening up the open-ended questions, things like that. But I'm sure that not being able to sleep for 3 months would be a burden. I do like that one. Thank you for understanding how difficult this has been. I think I can work on this between now and next time. You're doing great work. Keep taking care of yourself. Don't expect miracles. You'll probably fail at this anyway. Practice the sleep strategies, and we'll check in next time. I think that we would tell him to take care of himself and that he's doing great work. We didn't really talk about any sleep strategies with him. See, that's another thing. Like, it's practice practice the sleep strategies. It doesn't. We didn't talk about those, so it would just be confusing to be in a therapist's office and then be like, "All right, keep practicing what we didn't talk about." I really appreciate your support. See you soon. All right. Sir, 1 second. I gotta get this lady out of the window. Ooh, self-sabotage. Academic pressure. Why are you pushing me? I'm stuck. I'm glad that they have a button to get unstuck. Alright, Eason. Can't handle the pressure anymore. My grades are slipping and I'm panicking. These are some super old-looking students. Yeah, like... Which I wonder if that would have changed his response if I would have said something like that. Alright. My grades are slipping and I'm panicking. Panicking over grades already? No, I'll start with number 1. Let's create a realistic study schedule you can actually stick to this week. That's the thing, like, if they're gonna have these kind of scenarios, maybe have the people look a little younger. What specific situations trigger your strongest feelings of academic pressure? I think getting him to kind of point to those triggers is going to be the best bet for him. You know, if he's already feeling pressure about the grades, things like that, making him create a study schedule probably would just feel like too much more additional work. I guess it's mostly during exams and when assignments pile up together. Start tracking when the pressure hits so we can spot patterns early. So basically whenever you actually have to do schoolwork then. Those feelings are valid. Let's work through this together at your pace. My thoughts are 1 or 3. You know, being able to track when he starts feeling that pressure could be good for the future. Help him kind of realize it before it happens. But like you said before, you know, the acknowledgement, you know, those feelings are valid. Let's work through this together at your own pace. That also lets him know that we're not here to rush him. Yeah, it could be either of those. I think we did one last time as well. I don't know if I can commit to anything right now. How about we pick one assignment due soonest and work on just that for today? Commitment issues with studying too. That's a new excuse I haven't heard. It's okay to start small. Even 10 minutes of focused work counts. Again, 1 or 3. Telling him to start small makes the task not feel too overwhelming. Whereas 1, it's more focusing on the task at whole that is due. Start small. Next, I think breaking it down like that might actually help me. The worst part is my parents expect straight A's, like it's easy. Straight A's from their couch while you do all the hard work? Do you think their expectations reflect their own experiences or unmet goals? Have you tried talking to your parents about setting more realistic expectations together? So I think we did tried talking to the parents last time. So I kind of want to go the route where we're asking to reflect on their own experiences or unmet goals. Although I do think that being able to talk to the parents would be a smart thing. Although I don't know if he already feels like his parents are expecting a lot, you know, talking to them, I don't think is really going to help. So do you think their expectations reflect their own experiences or unmet goals? Both. They always talk about how hard they worked in school. Understanding their perspective might help you communicate your own needs to them. Their success doesn't mean your path has to look exactly like theirs did. So they peaked in college and now live through your report card. Okay. It's college, people, but the whole time it's kind of felt high school-esque in the way they've been talking. But at least we kind of now have an idea of what timeline we're at. I like 1 because it does kind of go back to being able to talk to the parents. So understanding their perspective might help you communicate your own needs to them. I never thought about it that way before. That's really insightful. This gives me a lot to think about and work on, honestly. Try not to overthink it. You overthink enough with school already. Take your time processing this. Real change happens gradually with reflection. Start with 1 small boundary with your parents and build from there. Ooh. I do like the real change happens gradually with reflection. I also like starting with 1 small boundary. But number 2 seems the best because it also encourages him, you know, taking his time, letting him know, again, we're not trying to get this figured out by the end of the week. It's going to take time. But being able to set a small boundary with the parents would be a good idea as well. All right, number 2. Thank you. That means a lot to me right now. All right. All right, Abigail. So I got anybody else? All right, Abigail. Do you mind if I call you Abby? Okay, then I won't. I just don't care about anything anymore. Nothing seems to matter. When did you first notice yourself feeling this way? So you've just given up on everything then? What's 1 small thing you could try doing differently today? Number 1 feels like the only proper response to be a professional. I mean, obviously being like, oh, so you're just giving up? That's just a dick move. What's 1 small thing you could do different? I don't really think she's open. I don't think she would be open to thinking about something like that. But again, number one, asking when she first noticed the feeling, that's going to help her identify what started it, maybe get to the root of it. Maybe a few months. It just crept up on me gradually. Creeping up slowly sounds like a convenient way to avoid responsibility. I don't think that that makes sense. Let's identify one activity you used to enjoy back then. Gradual changes can be the hardest to notice. You're very aware. Huh. I like number 2. Because if we can identify something that she liked before, but also letting her know that she's aware of what's going on is a good idea. That's what it is. I guess I could try something, but I doubt it'll help. Even small doubts are okay. We can work through them together. Start with something that takes less than 5 minutes. Doubt seems like your favorite excuse for doing nothing. I think letting her know that her doubts are completely understandable, letting her know that I'm here to help her through it would also be a good idea. Starting with something small that takes less than 5 minutes. I mean, I don't know. Is that... If I was sitting in her position and someone said that to me, would I feel heard? Would I feel like they're listening? Whereas telling her about the small doubts and working through it together, I feel like that person would be on my side. I really should be a therapist. I feel like I'm good at this. After 2 hours of, or almost 3 hours of playing a simulator game, and I've changed my profession already. Yeah, I think we're gonna go the small doubts are okay, and we can work through them together. Thank you. It's just really hard to see a way forward. Everything feels like I'm moving through thick fog all the time. Second one would make someone feel pressure to fix the problem all at once. 100%. Didn't even think about that. Yeah, like, you told them that. If you just said, like, oh, just pick one thing, even if it's, 5 minutes, fix it. Even though you're telling them to fix a small task, I don't think that that would be very helpful in a situation like that. All right, everything feels like I'm moving through thick fog all the time. Let's create a simple plan to add one activity this week. Does the fog lift at any particular time of the day? Sounds dramatic, like you're auditioning for a sad movie role. That's what I thought that. I'm thinking almost number 2 on this one. Because if there's a particular time where she doesn't feel like she's moving through thick fog, okay, well, what's going on during that time of day that makes it feel like it's not such a burden? All right, perfect. I like the way you think, Dave. I like it. Sometimes mornings are a bit clearer, but not always. What's different about those mornings compared to the rest? Those clear moments are important. Those clear mornings are important. Let's build on that. A bit clearer still sounds pretty foggy to me. I think figuring out what's different about those mornings compared to the rest would help her. Because if we just say the clear mornings are important, let's build on that. What would we really be building on? So 1 is the right choice. I sleep better those nights. Maybe that's the connection. I'm willing to work on the sleep and morning routine. At least you're willing to work on something finally. Sleep is powerful. You're on the right track now. Track your sleep this week and bring your notes back. So 2 or 3, obviously. 2, telling her that she's on the right track. Validation. Acknowledging what she's saying. But telling her to track her sleep and bring the notes back, 1, means we get another appointment out of her. More money. But it could also help her to kind of, see like, oh, I slept really terrible this night and I woke up feeling like shit. I'll do that. Thanks for the guidance. All right. Anybody chilling out here? No. I feel like the pattern definitely helps the most. All right, I have a kitty now. Oh, I got a little kitty cat. All right, one other thing that oh, what's up, buddy?
Hmm.
Didn't even realize you guys were coming in here. Ooh, infidelity. Let's go. So one thing that I would like to see added is customizations of your animals. I think that that'd be kind of nice. Well, technically, we do have a dog, and from my experiences, my dog loves to get those little treats out of the litter box, so maybe the dog just cleans up after the cat, which is pretty gross, but... I haven't left my apartment in 3 weeks, not even to check the mail. What specific thoughts come up when you consider going outside? Let's start with one small step outside today, just to the door. 3 weeks inside must have made quite a dent in your grocery bill. All right, number 1 is really the only logical response. Kind of like with telling that person pick a thing for 5 minutes and fix it. Just immediately going to, all right, take one step outside. It's more than that, obviously. I just keep thinking something terrible will happen if I step out there. What's the smallest action you could take towards confronting that fear? Those catastrophic thoughts are common with agoraphobia. You're not alone. You're basically a hermit living off delivery apps now. I think two is the best one, because letting her know, 1, that she's not alone with feeling this way. Also, maybe she's never heard of agoraphobia. So, that could give her something to look into when she's at home. And something so simple for the majority of the population could send somebody into a tizzy. Number 2. I don't know if I can do that. Even the door feels too far. We can break it down into even smaller steps if you need. Maybe you could just wave at your door from the couch first. What if you just opened the door without stepping through it? I think that for her, she seems like the kind of person that would need... Also, she looks so young that like she would be the high school student. But also, she's afraid to go outside, but it says that her problem is infidelity. I would like to see the conversations match the problem a little bit closer. At least, like, maybe this time it's infidelity, but next time her problem is the fear of going outside, or vice versa, something like that. I would like to see that worked on by the time the game comes out in full development. I would like to see the customization of animals. I would like to see the bar at the top redesigned so that it's not so confusing to where it looks like we're going towards evil, even though we've all established that it is clearly on the good side. Yeah, like, or better yet, don't even tell me, don't even show the infidelity or the reason that they're coming in for therapy. I haven't been to therapy myself, so I don't know if when you schedule an appointment, if they're like, oh, you know, what's the main topic that you want to discuss, or if they're just like, cool, we'll see you at 10 a.m. Like, that's kind of how I feel, because I feel like it'd be better to just get somebody in there. You have no preconceived notion of what they're there for, what kind of a person they are. But that's my own personal thought. I will be interested once the store is updated and actually open, so I can start decorating my office a little bit more. I think that'd be cool. I would like to see more people utilize the laying down couch instead of just always sitting across from us. However, with that being said, since I haven't talked to any repeat patients, maybe they're not comfortable enough to lay down and talk. But I think we can break it down into smaller steps if you need. Thank you for understanding. This feels more manageable now. The panic attacks start before I even reach the doorknob. You're letting a doorknob control your entire life? That's pretty wild. Can you describe what the panic attack feels like physically? Try touching the doorknob once today without any pressure to open it. Ooh. 2 and 3 are good. However, the problem with 3, she just said that she gets a panic attack before she even reaches for the doorknob. And I'm telling her, we'll just go touch the doorknob without, like, planning to open it. I feel like that's too close to shut up and deal with it. Whereas describing the panic attack, what it does physically, not only will help her ease into opening up to us, but also kind of get her to understand what's happening. My heart races, my chest tightens, and I feel like I'm dying. Those physical symptoms are real, but they're not actually dangerous. That is completely false, because feeling like you're dying, that's pretty dangerous. Chest tightens, that's dangerous. And your heart racing could be dangerous, depending on what's going on. Your body is triggering a false alarm. The survival mechanism gone haywire. Sounds dramatic, like you're auditioning for a medical show. I mean, 1 and 3 sound like the right way to go, but 1, telling someone that the tightening of their chest isn't dangerous doesn't sound like a smart move from someone who doesn't have their doctorate degree. But triggering a false alarm, I think, is a good response as well. That makes sense. My brain is overreacting to no real threat. Understanding what happens helps me feel less scared of it. Understanding what's happening helps me feel less scared of it. Well, at least you understand it now. See you next time. I don't like how that just feels like it's like rushing her out the door. Keep observing those false alarms and we'll work through them together. You like to? You're making real progress. I'll see you at our next session. I think we should have her keep observing the false alarms. And then we can talk more about it next time. See if she's noticed anything. See if her recognizing those false alarms has helped her improve any. I think that would be a smart tactic for her to take. And it also doesn't really feel too rushed to get her out. I will. Thank you for helping me understand myself better. It's what I'm here for. Bagel always knows. Right, no one yet. Sir, you were first. I knew you were going to go home. Well, not my fault that he got into the office before you, lady. All right. Jason, what's going on? You overthinking? Can't stop overthinking everything. It's driving me crazy. What do you notice happens in your mind right before the overthinking starts? Let's start by identifying one specific thought pattern you can interrupt today. Sounds like you're having a mental marathon with yourself as the competitor. Noticing what happens in his mind right before the overthinking starts gets him to place his finger on the trigger and what could possibly be causing the problem. Because I don't think that we can really identify a specific thought pattern that we can interrupt. Yeah, number one. I guess it usually starts when I'm alone with nothing to distract me. That awareness is actually a powerful first step towards making real changes. When you notice yourself alone and spiraling, immediately call a friend instead. So basically, you overthink because you have too much free time available. Alright, 3's a dick move, obviously. 2 makes it seem like it's not a big deal, and that he just needs to talk to somebody so that, you know, he won't be thinking about things to kind of spiral out and overthink. Whereas number 1, again, with the validation and acknowledgement, I think will make him happy. So if you agree, I agree. But I'm pretty sure 1 is the right way to go. Good. I'm not sure I can actually stop myself once it starts happening. It's okay to feel uncertain. We'll work through this together, step by step. Maybe you just enjoy the mental gymnastics more than you'd like to admit. Try setting a timer for 5 minutes and letting yourself overthink intentionally. 1 and 3 are good. Although setting a timer for 5 minutes and purposely overthinking and then trying to stop, I think would be a very difficult thing to do. So I think telling him that, you know, we're going to work together on this step by step, that it's completely okay to feel the way he's feeling, I think we have to go with number 1. Thank you. I really need someone who believes I can get better. Every small decision becomes this huge thing I analyze for hours afterward. Where do you think this need to analyze everything so deeply comes from? Hours on small decisions? You must have the cleanest closet in town. Pick one decision this week and commit to spending only 10 minutes on it. We have to go with number 1. Because I want him to start, again, thinking for himself, thinking about, you know, what's causing these things to happen. On the last one, the 3rd sounds like playing with fire in an already fragile state, right? Like, oh, just spend 5 minutes, just overthink, and then just stop once your timer goes up. Not gonna happen that way. Maybe it comes from my childhood when my parents criticized every choice I made. So you're basically just replaying your parents' criticism on an endless loop. Understanding that root helps us see why your mind developed this protective pattern. That must have been really hard, learning to doubt yourself so young. I like number 2, especially because it talks about understanding the root. Yeah, number 2. That makes sense. I never thought about it as something protective before. I'm starting to see this might be something I can actually work on. Don't overthink this breakthrough too much, or you'll ruin the whole thing. Keep building on this awareness and practice the techniques we've discussed together. You've made real progress today in understanding yourself. Well done, truly. Panda's about to break in, I think. Let's see. Keep building on the
Squeaks and
awareness.
chatters excitedly. Alrighty, friends. Trash Bagel here. Looks like it's that time, but we'll be back real soon, so don't go anywhere. Gotta keep up the good work, right? Scurries around happily.
Thanks, Pando. I gotta figure out how to make Pando not say all that. I don't, it's gotta be something, the extension. But I think telling him that he's made real progress is a good idea. Yeah, we didn't really discuss any of the techniques. So, made real progress today in understanding yourself. Well done, truly. This has been really helpful. I feel like I understand myself better now. Nobody else? Oh, wait. Gotta pet the dog and the cat. Don't eat the cat. Don't hit the dog. Or pee on the couch. Can I get in your elevator? Oh my god, he just disappeared. Alright. Next day. This might be the last day for us. This game. Alright, bills. Pay our bills. Yeah. Agoraphobia. There's a lot of agoraphobic people. Financial anxiety, apathy, and insomnia. Mariama? Mariama? I'm glad that you were able to step outside your house today. Also, for having a therapy dog and a cat, something nice would be that either the people interact with them or like the cat like gets on their lap, something like that. I think that would be a cool little feature. I haven't left my apartment in 3 weeks, not even to check the mail. What specific thoughts come up when you consider going outside? Keep thinking something terrible will happen if I step out. What's the smallest action you could take towards confronting that fear? So because we did the catastrophic thoughts last time, we're going to go with the smallest action this time. The panic attacks start before I even reach the doorknob. Try touching the doorknob once today without any pressure to open it. I think that would be smart since we went with the other one trying to get them to describe it physically. I'm I'm hoping, I mean, we said something different and she said the exact same response as the lady from yesterday, so I don't see what we say changing their responses very much, or at least on some of them. So I do want to see what she thinks if I tell her to try touching it without the pressure of opening. She didn't hate it. All right, that actually sounds like that actually sounds doable, just touching it. Once you've done that, we can plan the next small step. That's excellent. And remember, there's no rush beyond that. Look at you getting excited about touching a doorknob. All right, that sounds like the bad response, but again, that would be about tone. Like look at you, you're getting excited about touching a doorknob, like you're doing it. Or look at you getting excited about touching a doorknob. You know, it's all about the way you say it. So telling her that there's no rush beyond that, I think would be good, because it would help her feel more comfortable about just touching it. Just touch it, go sit back down. I feel like I finally have a path forward. Thank you. I'm willing to try this approach between now and next session. Good luck with your doorknob adventures. Try not to overthink it. I'm proud of your willingness to try. See you next week. Practice the doorknob exercise daily and report back to me. That one, right, I think it was intended to sound snarky, that last one. And I think that's another thing. Like, I do like that it doesn't really tell you in the response, like, good, bad, neutral, or something like that. Or like good +1, good +2, however they want to do it. But because we actually talked about the doorknob exercises with her, I think that telling her to keep practicing it daily and then report back is actually a better response than telling her that we're proud of her willingness to try and just that we'll see her next week. Because it's the first time that we've actually kind of had a plan in place with a patient so that we could try to help them move forward. I will. Thank you for breaking this down for me. Felt like the quickest one ever. One yet. Solomon, get your booty in here. Let's talk about this. Bro, you're wearing sandals? Alright. Do we have 2 more people scheduled? We do, right? Yeah. That's probably them. Alright. I can't sleep at night because I'm constantly worrying about money. Being ridiculous. Everyone has money problems. What specific financial concerns keep you awake at night? It sounds really difficult, and I'm glad you're sharing this with me. I'm operating with the assumption that there is a positive, neutral, and negative response for each statement. That's kind of what I think, because there have been times that when we choose something, the word good will kind of like flash blue, and then other times we'll pick a response and it doesn't do anything, but evil doesn't flash either. But if you pick the negative response, I've seen evil flash red. So I think it's a pretty safe assumption there on the 3 different options. So I think that asking about specific financial concerns could be good to help have him open up. But is he going to get, like, kind of reserved if I'm asking him about specific financial concerns? But I feel like 2 is the way to go. All right, sounds difficult, or that sounds really difficult, and I'm glad you're sharing this. That's true, because you don't want to be like, oh, what specifically is wrong with your money? I don't know where to start. Everything feels overwhelming. Stop whining and deal with it already. It's okay to feel overwhelmed when facing financial stress. Let's break this down into smaller, manageable steps together. Again, I think the validation of letting him know that it's okay to feel this way, especially financially. I mean, today's world, groceries are expensive, gas is expensive, everybody's got it. It's nothing new. You're not the only one. But we're not going to make him feel bad about it. Thank you. It helps to know I'm not crazy for feeling this. Never said he wasn't crazy. I make decent money, but it disappears before the month's end. Let's create a spending log to identify where your money goes. Do you think there's an emotional component to your spending habits? Maybe if you weren't so irresponsible with money, you're literally spending $200 just to talk to me. I like the idea of creating a spending log to see where the money goes, but there could be that emotional component as well. Him, you agree? Spending log, I think, will be most helpful for him. That makes sense. I've never tracked my expenses before. Once you see patterns, we can develop healthier financial habits. Or you could just keep failing like you always do. Starting small can lead to big changes over time. Yeah, I think the number one, once you see some patterns, we can develop healthier financial habits. I mean, if he's going to Starbucks once, twice a day, or, even 4 or 5 times a week, maybe that's going to help him understand it when he sees it written down. I remember, probably 10 years ago at this point. Well, okay, let me go back. When I was a little kid, I remember my dad, balancing the checkbook every day. And he would, write in the ledger, what was spent. He would do all the math. And now, we don't have that. I mean, we do, but not in the same way, because we can check our banks online. But when you physically have to write that out, that helps so much to realize what's going on with where you're spending your money. I think I can actually do this with the right support. Track your spending this week, and we'll review it together. I believe in you, and look forward to our next session. Try not to mess it up before next time. I feel like number 2 would be the way to go. Number 1 feels a bit invasive, because it'd be like, hey, you're going to write down what you spend, and then I want to see what you spend your money on. Whereas number 2, it's more keeping the accountability on him, but also letting him know that I support him, and I think that he'll do good. Although, if you know that you're going to show someone your spending report, you're probably going to change stuff up. And that probably wouldn't be a good thing. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. I think we got... Is there someone else? Yeah, there was. Oh, stretching. Oh, okay. All right, who's next? David. David? All right, I feel like I'm going to pick her next because she's on the schedule, and then this lady's going to get up and leave. Also, what would happen if I chose the lady that just walked in without the appointment? Would the lady who had the appointment be mad? I just don't care about anything anymore. Nothing seems to matter. That sounds really difficult. Glad you're sharing this with me. That's pathetic. You need to step out of it. You need to snap out of it. When did you first notice the feeling of not caring? Validation or reflection? Because telling him, hey, I'm glad you're sharing this. Yeah, that's great and all, but is that really gonna make that big of a difference? Yeah. It blinked blue on that one. So it does seem that... 'cause I noticed a couple on the last one didn't blink, and then there was one that did. So maybe, like, reiterating, like, I'm here for you helps. I guess it's been building up, but I feel kind of stuck. What's one small thing you used to enjoy doing? Stop whining and do something about it already. It's okay to feel stuck. We can work through this together. I feel like 3 is the right way to do it. We're reiterating that we hear him when he says he feels stuck. We're letting him know that he's not in this alone. That we can help him, you know, with his openness, sharing towards us. We can help get through this. So, I think three, it's okay to feel stuck. Thank you. It helps to know I'm not alone in this. Everything feels like going through the motions without any real purpose. Do you think this emptiness is protecting you from something? Going through the motions is pretty lazy if you ask me. Let's identify one activity to try this week, however small. I feel like 3 would be the best way. Although 1 gets him actively thinking about, like, is there something? I don't know. Like, do you think the emptiness is protecting you from something? If it was me, I'd be like, I don't know. I don't think so. But if we can identify one activity to try this week, you know, that could get him maybe back into the swing of something. Maybe it's easier to feel nothing than to feel pain. That's a really insightful connection you've made there. What pain do you think you might be avoiding? Feeling nothing is just you giving up on life. Ooh. 1 and 2 are really good. Because 1 lets him know that he's aware of his situation. Number 2, what pain do you think you might be avoiding? That almost gets a more... the deeper question being asked, and kind of getting him to start thinking about what pain is it that he would rather not feel. Number 2. You're right. I need to think about what I'm running from. I feel like I actually learned something useful today. Keep exploring those feelings. We'll talk next session. You did good work today. Proud of yourself. Maybe next time, you'll actually make real progress. Alright, so 3's out immediately. Keep exploring those feelings. I don't know. Telling him that he did good work and he should be proud of himself would probably help someone that I mean, most people that come into therapy, are they just looking for that validation of this being listened to? And like, I don't want to just send somebody away just being like, oh, be proud of yourself, like you're doing good. Number one, keep exploring those feelings. Kind of gives him a little bit of homework to do. Lets him start thinking more about what his emotions could be from that pain. Number one. I will. Thanks for your help today. All right. Not you. You're gonna leave, aren't you? Oh, she's not. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna keep her in the hallway till I talk to her. Because I feel like if I bring her in now, and then I go to pick her up... Oh, wait. Then the other lady will leave. Alright, so you have insomnia. I haven't been able to sleep through the night in weeks. Let's start a sleep journal to track your patterns tonight. What thoughts keep running through your mind when you're lying awake? Is counting sheep not working out for you? Trying to get her to open up about the thoughts that she is thinking about when lying there would be a good idea. Telling her to start a sleep journal, I don't really feel is a correct first response to that. Number two, I worry about everything. Work deadlines, money, my health, everything really. Maybe you should worry about getting thicker curtains instead. That doesn't make sense, but it's mean. Those worries sound overwhelming, especially when you need rest. Let's create a worry time earlier in the day. That just sounds terrible. I don't think that, hey, it's 3 p.m., time for me to worry for an hour. I don't think that is a sustainable method. So 2 feels like the correct option there. Yup. I'm not sure that'll help, but I guess I could try. At least you'll have time to finish that Netflix queue. Start small. Just write down your bedtime and wake up time. It's okay to feel uncertain about trying something new. 3 it makes the most sense conversationally when talking about that. Telling her she could finish her Netflix queue, that is a rude thing to say. Like, well, if you're going to be awake anyway, might as well watch some TV. So, number 3. Thank you. I really do need help with this. My mind races the moment I lie down at night. Sounds like your brain is running a marathon without you. Try the 4-7-8 breathing technique before bed. I don't know what the 4-7-8 breathing technique is, so I hope she doesn't ask me if we choose that. Have you noticed if certain situations make the racing thoughts worse? Three kind of sounds like the best. I don't really think that there's any negative response there. It's worse after stressful days at work, definitely. Maybe you should just quit your job then. What specific work situations trigger the most stress for you? That connection between stress and sleep is important. I think we should ask her to elaborate on the work situations that trigger the stress, right? Nice. Mostly presentations and tight deadlines cause me the most anxiety. I'm willing to work on this step by step. Try to not overthink it. That's your specialty. Start tonight and notice what changes by our next session. You're taking important steps toward better sleep. Uh, 2 or 3 on this. Kind of leaning towards 3. Number 2, though, kind of gives her that homework like we did with that one guy. And we can also kind of allude to, let's, continue talking about this. We'll see her again. Not really the worst option there. I do like number 3, though. Letting her know that what she's doing is the right thing to do. We'll tell her to start tonight. I'll do that. Thanks for the guidance. Alright. Want to come on in there? And now you can come sit down. Alright. I don't know how to say your name, so I'm just going to call you Miss Johnston. She's claustrophobia. Can't handle being in small spaces. It makes me panic. When did you first notice these feelings about enclosed spaces? Let's practice some breathing exercises you can use in tight spaces. So you're afraid of a little closet. I think first noticing about the feelings is the way to go. Definitely not going to make her feel bad about a little closet. Number 1. I think it started after I got stuck in an elevator. That must have been a frightening experience for you. Let's develop coping strategies for when you encounter tight spaces. Getting stuck once, and now you're scared forever. I mean, I think telling her, it must have been a frightening experience for you, that would be the proper professional response. Letting her know that she's not, overreacting to something like that. I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, and if I got stuck in an elevator, that'd be terrifying for me, so I'm not sure breathing will help when I'm trapped. See, we didn't even talk about the breathing experiences or exercises, so her response doesn't make sense to my response. Maybe you just need to toughen up a bit. We'll start small and gradually increase your exposure to enclosed spaces. The fears are valid, and we'll work through this together. My vote would go for 3. Starting small and gradually increasing the exposure to enclosed spaces could be good, but it also feels sort of dismissive, of like, oh, you're fine. Like, we'll just put you in small areas and you'll eventually get over it. So, number 3. Thank you. I really appreciate your understanding and support. I avoid elevators, crowded trains, even small rooms at work. We'll create a hierarchy of fears and tackle them one at a time. Avoiding trains seems a bit extreme, don't you think? What physical sensations do you experience in these situations? I feel like number 3 is the way to go. It gets her thinking and kind of analyzing what's going on, what happens when she starts feeling tense in those situations. Number 1, yes, a hierarchy of fears would be nice, being able to tackle them one at a time. However, that feels more of a to-do list than a proper way. We've done the 3rd one before. Curious about the 1st? Let's do the 1st. Starting with something small sounds manageable, I guess. I guess we all have our little quirks, right? Let's set a goal for this week, something achievable and small. Take your time. There's no rush in your recovery process. I feel like we've told a lot of people about, taking the time, no rush. Maybe we try to get her to set a goal and see if there's something achievable and small that we could work on for this week. I didn't pay attention on the last one at the bar at the top, if anything changed at all. Number 2. Yes, I'd like to try standing in a small room this week. I'm willing to try. I just hope it actually helps. You're doing great. See you next week for our session. Try not to be scared of every little room you see. Practice your breathing, and we'll review your progress next time. So 1 and 3. Yeah, 1 and 3 are where I lean. Practice the breathing. Could be good. It would give her something to do instead of just going into a small room and like thinking, oh, I'm in a small room. Going into that small room, focusing on the breathing, and then seeing how that goes next time. Let's do it. I will practice. Thank you for all your help today. Dave, I think I'm going to need an assistant therapist when I start my practice. I'm going to give you a call. I don't need any, resumes or references. I think that I think that we're going to do really well, and we'll have a booming business by the end of the year. You coming in? All right. Stop pushing me. All right, Sage, what's going on? I can't handle all this pressure from school anymore. It's crushing me. That sounds really overwhelming, and I want to help you through this. What specifically about school is creating the most pressure for you right now? You're being ridiculous. Everyone deals with school stress. Telling her that I want to help her in an overwhelming situation is good. Asking her specifics would help to know what it is. I mean, if it's homework, then that's not really something we can do. But I think specifically is the way. Well, mostly it's the constant exams and my parents expecting perfect grades. So everybody's parents just expect straight A's all the time. The pressure from exams and parents sounds incredibly stressful for you. That's pathetic. Other students handle way more than you do. Have you tried talking to your parents about their expectations lately? Number 3 is good because it's asking the question of, what has she done prior to coming into the office, prior to talking to me. Number 1, though, lets her know that, I can see it being a stressful thing, the exams and the parents. I like number 3, but I could also... I could be swayed to picking number 1. Let's do it, number 1. I guess I'm just scared I'll disappoint everyone if I fail. Stop whining about disappointing people and just study harder. Let's work on breaking down your workload into smaller, manageable pieces. Those fears are completely valid, and many students feel this way too. I think 3 would help her feel more comfortable, letting her know that she's not alone in the way that she feels. Number 2, breaking down the workload, you know, instead of thinking, oh, I have 7 reports I have to do, it's trying to figure out, okay, what's the homework that is the easiest or quickest to finish. But we will validate her feelings. Thank you. It helps knowing I'm not alone in feeling this way. The worst part is I study constantly, but I feel unprepared. Do you think perfectionism might be making you feel nothing is enough? Maybe you're just not smart enough for your current classes. What study methods are you currently using to prepare for exams? Number 3 would be good, because it would figure out what she's doing already and possibly figure out why she feels unprepared. Number 1, I don't really like. It's not that it feels negative, it just, I don't know, there's just something about it. Number 2 is a mean thing to respond with. All right, what study methods? I reread my notes over and over, but nothing sticks anymore. Rereading notes is lazy. You should be working much harder. Let's create a study schedule that includes breaks and self-care. Have you considered trying active recall or practice testing instead? Number 3 would be really good for that. You know, I mean, even if we were to create the study schedule that included breaks and self-care, if the study schedule is just rereading the notes and it's not helping her, maybe we need to guide her to a new perspective and action of different type of studying. So if, you know, we did practice test, that might help her ease into it. 3. That actually sounds helpful. I'll try those techniques this week. I'm feeling a bit more hopeful about handling things now. I'm glad we talked today, and I believe you can do this. Remember to implement those strategies, and we'll follow up next week. Don't waste this advice. Actually use it for once. I am glad that we talked to her today, and I do believe she can do this. And remember to implement those strategies and follow up next week. Just kind of reinforces the strategies we talked about. But I do want her to feel welcome and open here in the office. So I could go with 1 or 2. Two? Let's do 2. I will. Thanks again for all your help today. Glad I could be of assistance. Nobody? See, like, I wonder if later on, like, if you got the assistant therapist, if they would have, you know, say this room. Oh, assistant intern, marketing manager, storage room, accountant, secretary. I want... So I would have to get the secretary to open up that door. Are there any other doors I could open? Assistant therapy. I bet that would be where that would go. So it does seem like you could probably open up these other rooms eventually. Unless they don't plan on it, then who knows. But It is almost midnight for me, so we are going to call it here for the night. I can feel my voice is starting to get a little bit shot. I was gonna plan to do some Jackbox games, maybe some marbles, but I don't think the other people who are going to join are going to be joining, so I don't think we'll have enough for those. But we will be back on tomorrow. We will be doing some Grand Theft Auto role-playing, so that should be a fun time. It'll be the second night in our world there. Until then, it was fun, and I will say it's been out for 2 days, so the issues that I have with it, as far as the repetitive conversations, the reasons for the patients coming in, those little things, they don't sway me from saying that this is a bad game. I think that it'll only get better. I've played a lot of these simulator style games, and I'm pretty excited for to see what other things they have in store. I think we go back to the main menu. Oh, that one just closed out. Well, I think if trying to pull up again, but I think under the main menu there was like a little roadmap. Yeah, and like I think the more people that are playing, if you need real support, please reach out to a licensed professional. Yeah, so their roadmap is more patients and therapy issues, more assistants and helpers, expanded karma system with bigger consequences, furniture and decoration store to customize the office, penthouse suite as your home, new locations like a police station and a hospital, and our suggestions. So I think that that'd be a really cool thing, kind of, not obviously every suggestion that we give they would implement, but if they are constructive things, I could see them listening. I would hope, at least. But until tomorrow, I'm Mr. Bagel Fart. Dave, it's been great hanging out. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody else that's here lurking, I appreciate you guys. And I hope that you stay baked with positivity. Have a good night. Peace.
The oven door, we've laughed and played that for sure. Bagel Bunch, you're the best. Now it's time for us to rest. Good night, Bagel Bunch, good night. We'll meet again come daylight. Bake your dreams so soft and bright. Good night, Bagel Bunch, good night. From the jokes to all the puns, sharing joy, we all had fun. Rolling dough and making friends, every stream that never ends. Bagel Bunch, good night. We'll meet again come daylight. Make your dreams so soft and bright. Good night, Bagel Bunch, good night. From the jokes to all the puns, sharing joy, we all had fun. Rolling dough and making friends, every stream that never ends. Good night, Bagel Bunch, good night. We'll meet again come daylight. Make your dreams so soft and bright. Good night, Bagel Bunch, good night. Butter on top, memories spread. Every game that goes in my head. Toasted moments that we shared. In this bakery we all cared. Keep the laughter, let it rise. Doughy hearts and friendly ties. Sweet connections like a glaze in a Bagel Bunch.